Good evening, everyone. Hello, welcome along to the Sports Corner Gold Show. It is match day one of the Champions League. It is the second day of action from match day one in the Champions League. And we've got 6 brilliant games to come tonight. We're going to very quickly rush through things because we are a little bit late. Apologies. But we're all good. Rowan has put his hands up. He's apologised. But no, we've got really good games tonight in comparison to yesterday. And hopefully we get plenty of goals because we got a few goals yesterday. But I'm pretty sure Rowan will agree 90% of them went to him. So no doubt, let's hope we get an even share of the goals tonight. Kick-off of the games are in, about 5 minutes' time. And as you can see, there were already 2 games played today. A very historic result for the Moldovan side, Sheriff Tiraspol. 2-0 win against Shakhtar Donetsk. I don't think there were many people punting on that result, if I'll be quite honest with you. And then, of course, a big result. I thought Rowan had a heart attack when the late goal went in for Besiktas, but it's okay because Dortmund have got that all-important victory on the board, 2-1 win against Besiktas. So they're the 2 early kickoffs. We've got 6 games coming up. We'll go through with the boys, of course, Rowan and KD joining us again tonight. Kalen will hopefully joining us at some point in the near future in the next few weeks. But let's go through the games because time is of the essence. And we'll start off with 2 games which KD is covering tonight. And we said, everybody's got a good fair share of games tonight. There's not really any bad games on the board. KD, obviously Inter Milan, Real Madrid is your first game. Atletico Madrid, Porto, your second game. We'll start off with the first one, of course, Inter, Real Madrid. We saw these 2 last time face off against each other in the group stages. Quite an extraordinary group. All went all the way to the last match to decide who went through to the next round. But going through the teams, which I'll talk through in a little bit more detail in a second, do you think that there's potential for this group to be similar again, and it be a fight to the end for these teams to get to the knockout stages?
I mean, it should be fairly simple for these 2 teams. These 2 should be 1 and 2 in whatever retrospective order you probably think. Whoever wins this match tonight, if there is a winner, gets a massive advantage. But of course, we saw Sheriff win earlier. Shakhtar are already at a disadvantage. Sheriff, of course, playing literally no pressure on them at all. They got the 3 points. So if there is a draw in this game, I mean, and if Sheriff can pick a few more points, so who knows what could happen. But like I said, it should be fairly straightforward for these 2 sides in this group. But tonight, I'm just hoping for a good game, to be honest.
Yeah, hopefully it is a very good game indeed. I will go through the comments in a second. Can't say my words properly. I know there's a few of you in already. Welcome along. But going through the teams, 3-5-2 tonight for Inter Milan. Handanovic is in goal. Back 3, Bastoni, De Vrij and Skriniar. Midfield 5, Perisic and Darmian as the 2 wide midfielders. Çalhanoğlu, Brozovic and Brella as the 3 midfielders. And then up top, Lautaro Martinez, his partner in crime this season, Edin Dzeko. Bit of a downgrade if I say so myself. But hopefully tonight he can be a part of the goals. I don't think he's actually scored a goal competitively wise yet for Inter Milan. So now would be a very good time indeed. On the bench, plenty of players on there recognisable from the past. Sanchez and Vidal. Denzel Dumfries as well, the new signing from PSV Eindhoven. As for Real Madrid, 4-3-3 tonight. Gareth Bale's out injured. Therefore, Vázquez coming in up top on the right wing at least alongside Benzema and Junior. Modric, Casemiro and Valverde in the midfield. Back 4, Alaba playing as left back tonight. Fernandes and Militao linking up together as 2 centre-backs with Carvalho as the right back. Thibaut Courtois in goal. Standard bench as usual. Camavinga, new signing, scored at the weekend for Real Madrid. He's on the bench tonight, as you would have probably expected. And then the other game, Atletico Madrid-Porto. Very different group to the one we were speaking about a moment ago. I could ask you the same question, realistically speaking, about this group. But we saw FC Porto last season, and that's what I'm going to talk about. Looking at that Atletico Madrid lineup, pretty much expected plays in there. Griezmann maybe, quite surprised to not be in the team. But what can FC Porto bring to the table in this group? Because they will be the 4 favourites in this group. Can they pull off a surprise like they did last season when they went on a really good run in the Champions League?
I mean, look, this group's it's going to be really tight. I think it's going to come down to the last match day for all 4 teams, no matter what they're doing. If they're fighting for the Europa League spots or if they're fighting to get qualification, it's a very tough group. I don't think one team will run away with it. However, I do think Atletico Madrid will get the win tonight. I think they'll have too much for Porto, but we saw what Porto can do last year. They knocked out a very, very strong Juventus side. And we saw what the likes of the home fans can do. for teams already like Sheriff, like I've previously mentioned. Home support's massive, and to have that back this year, it's going to be huge for the teams like Porto and the teams like AC Milan, who are coming up against these. They're the underdogs in the group against Atletico and Liverpool, but I think the two home sides tonight in this group should have enough to beat the away sides. But you know what? You can't ever rule out the likes of Porto and AC Milan.
Absolutely not. And we'll go through the home team first, as some of the games have kicked off. So we will, of course, keep up to date with the goals as they go in. Atletico Madrid tonight, 4-4-2, standard formation that they always go for. Oblak is in goal, Hermoso and Llorente, the two fullbacks, with Felipe and Jose Jimenez as the two centre-backs. Lamar is on the left-hand side, Carrasco is on the right. Expect them to alternate throughout the game. Kondogbia and Koke as the two midfielders. Suarez and Felix up top. As I said before, Griezmann is on the bench tonight. It's a stacked bench for Atletico Madrid. Griezmann, Cunha, De Paul, Correa. It is full of star players. Talking about a team of star talents, FC Porto, a very, very good side. We saw what they could do last season. And a very different team, actually, to the team that played against Juventus in that last match. Diogo Costa is the goalkeeper. Marquesi not available tonight. Back four, Zaidu, Sanusi, Pepe, and Mbemba and Corona. Midfield four, Diaz on the left, Otavio on the right, with Marco Grujic and Matis Uribe in midfield. Mehdi Taremi is up top. Again, if Kale was here, no doubt he would be on Taremi Watch all night. Tony Martinez, the former West Ham man, is up top as well with him. In terms of the actual bench, you can see Sergio Oliveira is on the bench, the man who was actually the star talent, I would say, for Porto last season. And there is another Pepe. There's two Pepes in there, not the bold one, the rapid centre-back who got a pace upgrade on FIFA, and he's quicker than, I think, Rudiger. Makes no sense. But that is Atletico Madrid-Porto, and that is KD's game. So thank you very much, KD. We will bring Kieren back in when the goals do go flying in, which means we can now jump to Rowan. How are we doing, Rowan?
Great.
He's all good. He's all good. 2 games for you tonight. Bruges PSG is first match, and then the other one, Manchester City against Leipzig. We'll go Bruges PSG first because it's on the screen. This is, you could say tonight, the weakest of the games in terms of the fight between these two teams. But we saw Bruges in the past. You might remember a couple of years ago when they played Real Madrid. Did really, really well against them and actually beat Real Madrid. Am I dreaming a little bit too much here that they could maybe cause another shock?
I mean, we know that PSG front three: Mbappe, Neymar, Messi, and it seems like it's an unstoppable side. But if that defensive Bruges can hold on, they've got very talented young 2 strikers with Noah Lang and Charles de Ketelaere. It is a very talented strikers, and you got to have Hans Vanaken in the midfield, so a pillar of that Club Bruges thing. Yeah, they've got Simon Mignolet, who's former Liverpool keeper, but he was actually. The thing is, again, it was saying Macarius becomes a meme and a joke. Sorry, PSG nearly scored. Become a meme and a joke, but he's a decent goalkeeper. You've also got Bas. Is that Bas Dost on the bench as well? So,
it is indeed.
So, I mean, if Lang and de Ketelaere can't do the job, at least you've got that experience with Dost on the bench. But you'll flick over that PSG side.
Boom. There we go. Look at it.
It's absolutely unreal. Obviously, Navas and Angelino, Kimpembe. The thing is, their probably weakest part is maybe the midfield. Angelino at left back.
I think when you look at the whole team overall, that is probably the weakest part on paper.
Yeah, but they have got Nuno Mendes on the bench, so we all know what Nuno Mendes can do. But yeah, I think. You take away from the defence and the midfield, you've still got that front three, and it's what we'll always come back to. When you've got a player like Messi, when you've got a player like Neymar and Mbappe, put them all together, surely it can't fail. But you never know. But I think it's one of the games that I could see as a whitewash. I think it'll be very similar to Malmo Juventus. I think it really will.
Absolutely. I'm just going to quickly, before we go on to the other game, that's been a goal already in one of the matches tonight. Sporting Ajax off to a flyer. Ajax 1-0 up after 2 minutes. Sebastian Haller with the goal. If you want a description of how the goal was, it was a scuff shot, very similar probably to the shots last night in the Bayern game. Scuff shot that came off one of the centre-backs, I think, for Dow. It actually ricocheted onto the post. Haller's there for the tapping, like Lewandowski was last night. And Ajax are 1-0 up already.
You should have interrupted me, Josh.
It was all right. You were going in full motion.
It's all right. Kelly would have been proud.
Going on to the second game, though, very quickly for you. City Leipzig.
Yeah.
This one's an interesting one because I look at this on paper, right? And I think City are the favourites to win this. But I don't think it's going to be as simple as people expect it to be. We know Leipzig are a very attacking team. We know over the last couple of years they've been quite decent in the Champions League. Could this be a bit more of an intriguing game than people expect?
I don't know because Leipzig looked poor. They looked very weak against Bayern at the weekend. They didn't look like the side they were last year. I mean, they were great last year. Don't get me wrong. They were challengers for the league title, but they really seemed to shadow themselves. And I don't know whether it's another It's not even a transitioning period for them because they finally got Dominic Szoboszlai back. Obviously, Andres, they've got players with talent. Sorry, there's a baby in the crowd at the City game. Why would you bring? It looks like it's like 2 months old. Deary me. Anyway, sorry, I got distracted. I think Leipzig we all know they've got the talent. And I mean, you look at the team. Andre Silva starting in front. Olmo and Nkunku, two of the best players last year. You've got experience of Forsberg and Lehmann mixed with Tyler Adams, who, after watching a bit of the US qualifications, he really was a 50-50 player. Moments he looked like he could be a leader, and there were moments where he would just make a rookie mistake. But I suppose when he's young, he's still learning. Still, I think on the bench, a bit weaker. You've got Szoboszlai, you've got Josef Poulsen, but you're still quite Brobbey off the bench. Josh Gvardiol, I'm a big fan. I found out of him because of the Euros. And I think he will slowly work his way into this side, either as a centre-back or a left-back. But yeah, they're a good side. I just don't think they have the depth that Man City do.
Definitely so. Let's hope there's some goals tonight. Fingers crossed for you. As I said, Rowan getting the fair share of goals before. Hopefully the same tonight. Thank you very much, Rowan, indeed. We're going to go over to KD because there's already been a chance. Chances galore tonight. Very quickly, though, was a penalty shout in a Sporting Ajax game. Very, very good start for Ajax. Seb Haller causing all sorts of problems for the Sporting back line. Did go down in the box, did call for a penalty. Referee waved it away instantly. A couple of players calling for maybe VAR to interfere, but nothing given. And in the end, Ajax, who were already 1-0 up, off to a perfect start indeed. But as I said, there is a chance in one of KD's games. Who is the chance for, Kieren?
It's for Atletico Madrid. They've started really well. Started really fast and out the blocks straight away. And it was obviously it was Luis Suarez who had the chance. Threaded through really nicely by Thomas Lemar, who's on really good run of form right now for Atletico Madrid. And Suarez just took the shot a little bit early and forced a save out of Diego Costa. But Atletico Madrid looking the better side so far in the opening 6.5 minutes of the game. But Meditremi has just headed it wide. So, you know, Taremi watch is well and truly underway.
It is indeed. Fraud watch is on. Thank you very much, KD. 0-0 as it stands between Atletico Madrid and Porto. I can say that way. Kyle's not here. How are we all doing, though, in the chat? Welcome along, everyone. Hopefully, you're all good. As we said before, just take a little bit of a while to go through the teams and the lineups, but to very quickly go through Winvow in the building, just to make sure, Winvow, I know you're putting in the scores. Try not to, just because some of us are going to be a little bit behind actual live streams. So I'm pretty sure Ajax are just about to score in a second and make it 2-0, depending on what's going to happen. But if they do, then try not to spoil anything in the chat, because obviously, as I said, some of us are going to be a little bit behind live streams in general. Carl's in the building now doing Carl. Welcome along. Says, hey, all should be a good game tonight between Liverpool and AC Milan. That is the main game I'm going to be talking about. And it's goal already. Just like that, Liverpool have scored. Talk about timing. Trent Alexander-Arnold with a goal. I thought it was Salah at first because they've both got curly hair. It wasn't Salah. It's Trent Alexander-Arnold. And Liverpool have taken the lead. And it's just a simple near-post run from Trent. Gets the ball in the box. I don't know who it's from specifically, but I'll see in a second. He's at the near post, takes the shot on. Maignan can't save it. Good finish from Trent. And Liverpool have taken a 1-0 lead after 10 minutes on the clock. And I mean, we're looking like we're going to have a pretty, I'm saying looking like, hopefully we have a very good night of action indeed. But seeing the chance again, it's actually Mohamed Salah who does start the attack. He sees Trent making an overlapping run on the far right-hand side. And yeah, as I said before, he just makes an overlapping run into the box Fikayo Tomori tries to close him down and just can't. And by the time he does take the shot, and Tomori's gone in for the sliding tackle, and unfortunately, it does mean that Liverpool have conceded. And talking about goals as well, we have had another goal. Surprise, surprise, Ajax are 2-0 up. Sebastian Haller has put the ball in the back of the net. He's got 2 goals in the space of 8 minutes. And Sporting off to an absolute disaster of a start. And it's one long ball from the Ajax back line. Anthony, who has been an absolute menace in the first 10 minutes, gets onto the end of the ball. And all he's got is a very simple, I'm saying tapping, it's a simple cross into the box. Seb Haller, very similar, if you watched the Zenit game last night, to the Juba chance. He gets to the ball. Simple goal. And just like that, Adan in the Sporting goal, and the Sporting backline in general, they've had a stinker because they're 2-0 down after 10 minutes and already making up for last night's 1-goal thriller across the board in the 2 games that I had. We've already had 3 goals in the space of 10 minutes. So 2-0 to Ajax and, of course, 1-0 to Liverpool. That is the main game of the night. But with the way the Ajax one is going, we might have to keep our eyes out for it. But let's go over to KD. Chances galore in the early first 10 minutes. Who's it for, Kieren?
Yeah, it's for Inter Milan this time. And after quite what I'd say is a poor start, they've really come into the game. And it was a nice chance for Edin Dzeko, wide right-hand side of the penalty area. He had the shot, and it's a good save by Courtois. Corner's lifted in. It's headed just over by Skriniar. But Inter Milan, they're getting back into the game a little bit after a very poor start, giving the ball away. Real Madrid, they're not the best of starts either, but it's been a very slow game. That's pretty much it. Maybe getting a bit of pace to it now with these couple of chances.
Early days indeed. Thank you very much, Kieren. About 10 minutes into all of the games tonight. Already had plenty of goals, probably more goals than we had yesterday. But it is still 0-0 between Inter Milan and Real Madrid. Winvar, how are you doing, mate? Oh, good, as I said. Thank you for trying to not put any more spoilers in the chat. I am a little bit further behind. I'm using a new system this season for games. But I'm going to stop for a second because Salah's in and there's another chance, and it could have and probably should have been 2-0 to Liverpool. Winvar did ask what happened with Lille goal, because I saw a goal and score went back to 0-0 in the 90th. Well, nobody scored last night in the 90th. There was a penalty shout at the very, very last second of the game. Obviously, VAR intervened. It was given as a free kick in the end. So nobody scored. I know Jonathan David did score a goal that was given, I think, as offside or something like that, but it wasn't in the 90th minute. So I don't know in terms of an actual goal in the 90th. KD watched the game, so maybe there was another chance late on in the game. But apart from that, wasn't a great deal going on, as there's another chance for Liverpool, and this time it's the Scottish fullback, Andy Robertson, with a shot from inside the box. And this is a lively start to this Liverpool Milan game. We're already going to get a yellow card coming out here. I think Ismail Benasser's gone into the book. And it's a penalty. He's been given us a penalty. Liverpool might have a chance here to go 2-0 up. He's been given us a handball, it looks like, on Ismail Benasser. This might get checked by VAR. I think this could be one that might not be given as a penalty. It depends on what you think. We have got dangerous free kicks. While we wait for the decision, let's bring in Rowan. Who's the free kick for, Rowan?
It's for Club Brugge, and I tell you what, it saw the similar start to the Malmo game. I think a lot more even, but Paredes completely just loses the ball. He goes underneath him, and then in trying to get it, he bundles down Charles de Ketelaere. De Ketelaere could have been a red. I don't think it was red, but definitely straight yellow. And it's just outside the box, just to the left-hand side, a really dangerous opportunity. I'll stay quiet in case the pen chance. The
penalty's been given, and Salah is going to step up. Chance for Salah to make it 2-0 after 13 minutes. He runs up, saved by Maignan. Rebound comes out. Robertson heads. Maignan saves again. Brilliant start to this game. And Liverpool, I'm saying Liverpool, Milan's blushes are spared, not Liverpool's.
Are you on Shuru watch tonight? Is he starting?
I would be. He's not starting.
He's on the bench. He's bench. Super sub. That free kick went straight into the wall. So,
but thank you very much, Rowan. Thank you. Hopefully we get some goals in the Bruges PSG game. But what a chance. What a start. Liverpool, Milan, very, very lively indeed. And I'm surprised that Liverpool ain't got a second. Corner's come in. Trent's going to take on a shot from outside the box. It's coming back to him. And Magnan's going to get a save. take a breather. Could have had 4 goals in the space of 13 minutes across 2 games. It is very, very lively indeed. As Winbow has said, Jonathan David was the goal in disallowed. Yeah, I think the Jonathan David one was in the second half, I think it was. Early in the second half, as Winbow has put Liverpool have missed the penalty. They have indeed. I think I'm a little bit further ahead in the Liverpool one than I probably am the Sporting Act, so try not to spoil anything in that game. But Liverpool coming forward again. Andy Robertson lays the ball off to Salah at the edge of the box. He tries to curl it into the back of the net. Doesn't get a great deal of power on it. Goes over the top of the bar and out of play for a goal kick. But, I mean, I'll tell you something right now. AC Milan are getting torn a new arsehole. This has been a terrible start for them. Just constant waves of attack from Liverpool. And they just don't seem to be able to get a grip of the ball right now. And if it continues like this, then it's not going to be a welcome return back to the Champions League, is it, for AC Milan? As Reese is in the building. How are you doing, Reese? Hopefully you're all good as always. Welcome to the channel. As Winvow says, the new AC keeper is crazy. He is very good, Magnan. But we're going over to KD because there's been a chance in one of his games. Who's it for this time, Kieren?
Yeah, and I was saying Real Madrid are getting going a little bit. It's probably their best chance of the game. Casemiro, he's about 35 yards out. He looks in front of him. He's got nobody else in front of him, no other options. Takes a little pop shot. It cuts across the grass and just goes wide. I mean, there is a goal, so I'm going to shut up so you can get your Rowan in here.
I'll bring Rowan in now. Thank you, Kieren. We'll come back to Kieren in a little bit. Rowan, goal. Who for?
Well, I was too distracted with Angelino ripping his former team to shreds. And PSG have scored. Oh, that is it's just as simple. I think that's Mbappe, who just taps it past Clinton Mata. The ball goes into the box. Ander Herrera, the former Manchester United man there, straight centre of the box. It's quite a smart finish, half volley, wide open. Nothing the keeper could have done. I think it was just quite unfortunate. Nothing much the Club Brugge could have done to stop that then. But 1-0 to PSG. Is this where the floodgates open? Possibly. But Ander Herrera with his 4th goal of the season.
Quality start to life for PSG in the Champions League. Thank you very much, Rowan. 1-0 to the good against Bruges, as you would expect them to be. Could be a demolition, that one, depending on how things go. Messi, Mbappe and Neymar all up top together in that game. Just looking in the chat, Daz is in the building. How are you doing, Daz? He's put a bet on today. He did ask me if I've got any bets on myself. I have, yes. I will talk through them in a little bit. But Daz saying he needs Atletico Madrid to win PSG. Atletico to win, PSG to win, Real Madrid to win, Liverpool, Fulham, Stoke, Swansea. A pound accumulated, 324 quid. Well, I know Fulham are winning currently. I know Stoke are winning. I don't know if Swansea or Cardiff are winning, but we're going over to Rowan because he's waving his hands. There's a goal. Who for, Rowan?
It's in the other game. It's Manchester City, Leipzig. And it was the reason why I was distracted because Angelino was causing a lot of problems. And then when that goal went in, City were coming on the left. They did win a corner. And from that corner, I just had a vibe. I said it to myself. I said goal. And it was Nathan Ake who's jumped up the highest. He's beaten Willie Orban to the ball. Headed practically straight at Peter Galaxy. And Galaxy's just hasn't got the quick enough reaction. Parries it off to the crossbar, and it's come back off the crossbar into net. Nathan Ake with the header. And I think Tyler Adams initially loses him, but Orban should probably do a lot better there. But Manchester City are winning. So they lost in the final, wanting to start this campaign off the right way, and they've done it right now against a tough team.
Thank you very much, Rowan. 1-0 City against Leipzig. The goals are flying in. Unless you're KD. Very unfortunate start for him. No goals in his games as of yet. 20 minutes into tonight's action. As it stands, Liverpool 1-0 up against AC Milan. They did have a penalty with a chance to go 2-0 up. And Mohamed Salah with the penalty, which was saved in the end by Mike Magnan. Ajax 2-0 up against Sporting. 2 goals for Haller in 8 minutes. They're off to a flyer in Portugal. Atletico Madrid 0, Porto 0. No goals in that one as of yet. Same with Inter Milan, Real Madrid 0-0 in that game as it stands. Bruges, Paris Saint-Germain, PSG 1-0 up to the good, as you would expect them to be. Ander Herrera scoring loads of goals recently for Paris Saint-Germain. He's got another one tonight. And then, of course, Manchester City, as Ron said a moment ago, 1-0 up against RB Leipzig. As we go back to our main game of the night, Liverpool AC Milan 1-0 as it stands. Daz did ask early on if I got a bet, but I'm going to stop for a second because there's a cross into the box from Trent towards Matip. And unfortunately, I think he's been flagged as offside. So regardless of whether his header would have gone into the back of the net or not, it wouldn't have counted anyway. But a quality start for Liverpool tonight. They've really started very well in this game. And the same can be said as well about Ajax, who are 2-0 to the good against Sporting. They've dominated the Portuguese side in that game. I think every single time I've looked at the right-hand side of my screen, they always seem to be on the attack. And I think if you're the Sporting manager, you've got a lot of work to do. There was an early change as well. One of the centre-backs, Gonçalo Ignacio, came off injured. So there was an early change in the Sporting game. And Ricardo Esgao has come on. So not really going the way that Sporting want it to go so far. But 2-0 as it stands. We're going to go over to KD because there has been a chance in one of his games. No goals as of yet, but who has the chance been for, Kieren?
It's Inter Milan and punched away by Courtois. Inter Milan. This is a very, very good, fun game to watch. Very back and forth. But yeah, the chance was for Inter Milan. They just caught Real Madrid at the edge of their own penalty area, and a ball whipped into the box, a very early ball, and Martinez was onto it, and he heads it straight at Courtois. Though poor decision making from the striker, but this is a very, very entertaining game. Like I said, it was just about getting going. And it's very back and forth, a very open tie. And surely the first goal for me has got to come soon.
It's got to come soon, hopefully, for you. Thank you, KD. 0-0 as it stands between Inter Milan and Real Madrid. Probably, you could say, the tie of the night in terms of the two sides. Obviously, Liverpool AC Milan is up there as well. And we're going to go back to Liverpool AC Milan because Liverpool coming forward here. It's going to be Andy Robertson on the far left-hand side. And of course, we did actually watch that Liverpool game, didn't we, against Leeds a few days ago. And I made a key point that in that match, a lot of the play for Liverpool was on that right-hand side of the pitch with Salah and Trent. And we didn't really see much of Robertson in terms of the attacking side of play. But so far, in this first 20 minutes, it has been a lot down the left-hand side. I'm going to stop for a second because Salah tries to feed the ball into Sadio Mane. He's gone to try and get a touch on the ball. In the end, there's a foul on Simon Kjaer in the build-up. Referee has given a free kick to AC Milan. But, I mean, this kind of sums it up. Maldini's in the crowd tonight alongside royalty and Chris Welch, who is there tonight. That's why he's not here. But you can see he's shaking his head in disappointment with how the first 20 minutes have gone. He's not happy at all with how Milan have started. It's been very poor, a lack of possession. And in fact, when I look at the possession overall, so far AC Milan have had, I would probably be looking to say about 30%. It's 32% possession. So that kind of tells you the way that this game has gone so far for AC Milan. A lot of work for them to do. But we'll keep talking about that game as it goes on. There has been a yellow card given. In fact, there's been 2 yellow cards given already to FC Porto in their match against Atletico Madrid. Luis Diaz and Zaidu, I think it's Sanusi's second name, who've both gone into the book early on. Luis Diaz, of course, was linked with a move to Everton on deadline day. That didn't happen, but he has gone into the book early on in that match against Atletico Madrid and Porto. Daz said apparently the goal's been classed as an own goal in the Liverpool match now. Interesting. As I said, probably is an own goal, to be fair. The way that Tomori deflected the touch of the ball is probably fair. But we'll come back to the chat in a second because there's been another chance. Really good start tonight to the action in the Champions League. Who has the chance been for, Rowan?
It's in this PSG Club Brugge game, and it's what worries me about this game because it's Mbappe. Tucks it onto his left, tucks it onto his right, darts across the box and gets a shot, and it's actually a good save by Mignolet. But Brugge have actually played really well. Lang, especially, and De Ketelaere fighting, drifting a lot to the right, and then it's allowed Hans Vanaken to drift unknowingly to this left-hand side. They've been pinging balls, and Hakimi's been caught out a couple of times. But genuinely, it's looked like quite an even game. I don't know if stats will say that, but Brugge have tried to sort of take the game to PSG, and it's what you love to see. Forsberg to Silva, he leaves it. Oh, how's that missed? Christopher Nkunku has put it past. He is offside. Club Brugge! Oh, and it's blocked there by Kimpembe. End-to-end action in both games. I mean, I think he's offside. Forsberg to Silva. Silva smart, he leaves it on Kunku. If he puts that in, that's a definite goal. Angelino's arriving late. But two really good games, but that opportunity for PSG, Mbappe narrowly missed.
Thank you very much, Rowan. 1-0 as it stands in both Rowan's games. Bruges, PSG 1-0 up, of course. And then Manchester City 1-0 up against RB Leipzig. This is what we like to see. 6 very good games. Obviously, if we run through them again, 25 minutes in, maybe a little bit less than 25 minutes. Liverpool 1-0 up against AC Milan. Ajax 2-0 up against Sporting. 2 goals for Haller in 8 minutes. No goals in Atletico Madrid Porto yet. No goals in Inter Milan Real Madrid yet, but it's been very end-to-end from how KD has described it. And then obviously, as we said before, PSG and Manchester City both 1-0 up in their respective games. As Winbauer said, Barnsley, they have scored against Stoke in the Championship match. As Peter is in the building. How are we doing, Peter? Sad news for you. Chris isn't in the building tonight. He's actually at the game. So if you're at the game yourself, Peter, then see if you can find him and actually pester him in person for us. But no, I'm pretty sure you're at home watching it. You wouldn't be in Anfield watching us watching the game. It would make completely no sense to do that. Maybe you would if you wanted to. Who knows? But hopefully you're all good as always, Peter. But going back to what I think Daz was saying earlier, he did ask me if I'd put any bets on. There is a bet on tonight, yes. We've got a cheeky bet going on in the background. It's going okay-ish. It's a 9-fold tonight. It's got Real Madrid, Manchester City, Atletico Madrid, PSG, Fulham, Stoke to all win. He's expecting a goal in Bristol City, Luton Town for both teams, and then Liverpool to win, but both teams to score. So there's a long way to go in it before anything like that was to happen. And, well, Stoke are drawing anyway against Barnsley, so it doesn't really matter if anything happens. If Barnsley were to draw, then it kills the bet off anyway. But Peter says he's at home, unfortunately. There's always tomorrow's stream. Well, tomorrow there's 2 streams, so even better. If Chris is in twice, you get to pester him twice. But there are celebrations. I've just seen Rowan's hands go up in the air. I assume there's a goal. He's screaming goal. Who's it for?
Hans Vanaken! Blue Hans Vanaken's bagged. Again, I was too distracted with the Christian Nkunku bundling to Grealish, and I've completely missed the goal on this side. It literally seems that when I look over to City game, the score of this one, because I've been watching this. So I'll tell you what happened, but I think it's quite a nice finish by Hans Vanaken, if I'm right in saying. So it's on the left-hand side with Noah Lang. Great ball out to the wing. Crossed in. No PSG players there. Hans Vanaken's wide open. It was a Sobol? I can't see his name. Has just crossed the ball in. Along the floor. Doesn't have much pace in it. And Hans Vanaken shoots, and it's a loose leg by, I think that's Kimpembe. Might be Diallo. I can't see who it is. Whoever it is, he's stuck a leg out to make a block, and he's put it over Keylor Navas, and Hans Vanaken's equalised for Club Brugge 1-1. Oh, this is a good game. It's going to be a good game.
Belgian delight. Thank you very much, Rowan. 1-1 as it stands, and there might be a penalty shout in Sporting Ajax. Or I'm just looking at it. No, it's not a penalty shout. They are looking at a tackle from Daley Blind. I don't know if this could be a red card shout. I don't know whether the referee is going to let this go and just tell the players to calm down here, but I think that's exactly what he's done. It was a 50-50 foul where Daley Blind and I think it was Polina both got in for the ball. Both players' studs were up. So obviously if one of them had connected, I'm pretty sure that would have been given as a red card. But I think the referees let it go with it being a 50-50 foul and play continues in that game. Ajax, of course, 2-0 up to Sporting. But let's go back to the main game of the night, Liverpool AC Milan. Haven't spoke about it for a few minutes. AC Milan finally getting a bit of a foothold in this game. It's taken them about half an hour to really start pushing the ball up the pitch. But they've not done much with it yet. But it's a positive sign if you're a Milan fan, because they've been well and truly boxed in their own half for 90% of this first half. As Liverpool look to come forward again, Henderson with a long ball towards Origi. He's got Salah running in the middle. Origi tries to chip the ball back to Salah. And in the end, it's good defending by Fikayo Tomori. But I'm seeing, I'm going to bring both Kieren and Rowan in. Rowan with a goal, Katie with a VAR pen check. We'll bring Rowan in first. Who's the goal for?
PSG game, someone's just absolutely... Messi's just rattled the crossbar. The goal is from Manchester City, and it's embarrassing. Mukiele has headed it into his own net. And he was wide open as well. It's lovely by Kevin De Bruyne. Really nice by him. Crosses a ball in. And Mukiele, I don't know what he's thinking. I don't know if he's trying to head it back to Peter Galaxy. But obviously, Galaxy goes across right to cover the shot, expecting Mukiele to possibly leave it. Mukiele's gone to head it, and he's headed it. It's a really lovely finish. He's headed it past his goalkeeper, and it's 2-0 to Manchester City, and that's embarrassing for Nordi Mukiele. Big
start for Leipzig.
Also, quickly, right, do you know the PSG Diallo? Go on his Twitter, you'll see an absolute legend in his cover photo. I didn't know they were best mates until I found out a couple of days ago.
I'll have a look in a second. I'll see who it is. Thank you very much, Rowan. 2-0 to City against Leipzig. Not a good night for the Germans so far. We are going to go back to KD, as I said. VAR pen check in his game. Is the pen check still going on, or is it complete?
No, it's been completed, but it was a potential penalty call for Porto. And I mean, I've seen these being given, Josh. I'm not going to lie. It's a 50-50 tackle. Zanussi broke through after a good pass from Luis Diaz on the counter from a Atletico corner, sorry. And Kondogbia just slides in, sort of gets a toe on the ball, just about. But I think there's still enough there for a potential penalty to be given. VAR's had a look at it because Zanussi was down injured. Give nothing. But Real Madrid do have the ball in the penalty area right now. It's been back to Casemiro. Benzema takes a touch, goes for a snapshot, cleared away. I mean, Real Madrid up at the top end of the pitch have been really poor. But Atletico Madrid, I mean, you could probably say the same for them. Porto took advantage of the ball they've had. But Atletico Madrid do have a little bit of a chance here. They've got a free kick just about 25 or 30 yards out. Carrasco's over it. There's a lot of people in the box. Costa's not really had to make many saves apart from that one early on from Suarez. Of course, we know how good Atletico Madrid are at set pieces. And Carrasco's standing over the ball now. It's definitely going to be whipped in. It's a bit too far out and a bit left of centre to go for the shot here. So it is going to be Carrasco to whip it. And there's a lot of bodies in that box. I can see maybe 4 or 5 bodies. It is going to be Carrasco. Comes up to it. It's a nicely hit ball. It's headed into the air and into the hands of Diego Costa. And as usual, Josh, very anticlimactic.
One day, we'll have one of those moments where the ball goes in the back of the net and you can actually celebrate it, hopefully. But thank you very much, KD. 0-0 as it stands between Atletico Madrid and Porto, and 0-0 between Inter Milan and Real Madrid. They are the 2 games that Kieren is covering tonight. How are we doing, Tubbs? He's in the building. Welcome along, Tubbs. He says, hey, lads, what the hell was Nordy thinking? Well, Rowan said it himself. Poor decision-making. And in the end, Leipzig 2-0 down. Alexa's in the building. How are we doing, Alex? He says, Sheriff to run the table. Heard it here first. Quality start for the Moldovan side. Technically not Moldovan. They don't like to be called Moldovans, the fans. I don't know where it is specifically. It's a bit more of a complicated name. I think, Alexa, you'll know a little bit more than I do, but they don't like to be called a Moldovan side. As Peter says, he wish he was at the game to be able to pester to Chris. Well, let's see whether or not Liverpool win tonight, because I'm pretty sure he said the last time he'd been to a game was when they played Atletico Madrid and they got knocked out when Morata scored that late winner. So whether or not he's going to be seeing any winning celebrations tonight from the Liverpool players, we'll have to see. But we're going to go over to Rowan because there's been a chance. Who's it for, Rowan?
It's in that Bruges PSG game, and Bruges attacked really well. Noah Lang went down in the box. There was actually, after that, a foul committed just outside of the day. And Hans Vanaken. And normally, I know KD as well does it. We put dangerous free kick about. I was like, I won't do it this time. I feel like I always drinks it. And Vanaken actually hits it, just whips it around the wall low. Navas has to dive to his left, gets to it quick, and just narrowly makes a save. And then it was Soa who nearly got onto the rebound, just put the shot wide. But Club Brugge are knocking on the door, but so PSG, they've had a couple of opportunities. Soa's took it past one. He just can't get past the other.
Thank you very much, Rowan. There's been a goal. What a game this one is. Sporting are back in it. It's 2-1 as it stands. They've not done much in the game at all, I'll be honest with you. But it's their marquee man up top, Paulinho, the Portuguese striker. It's a long ball up to Paulinho. It's a really awkward position for him to take the shot from inside of the box. It's a poor bit of keeping from Pasveer in the Ajax goal. He fumbles the ball out of his hand. It rolls into the back of the Ajax, well, it's technically the Sporting net, but the away net at the very least. And Sporting are right back in this game. And from what has been, as I said, a pretty dismal start for the home side, their fans are in absolute ruptures because they're right back in it. And just like that, the Portuguese champions are back in the game, 2-1. And that is a real reaction from the Sporting manager. He decides to celebrate the goal by kicking over some cones. I don't know, even anger or in delight. I'd assume in the latter, but it is 2-1 to Ajax still. Just looking at the comments and seeing what you guys have been saying. Peter said he's committed to both Carlisle and Liverpool. Goes to both games when he can admire his commitment. Indeed, he can. Winvar saying Middlesbrough 1, Forest 1.5 time. Tubb saying No Lang is Mr. Forehead. Obviously, Rowan is watching that game. I think he'll agree with that. I know he's got quite a big forehead, No Lang, but each their own, I guess. By the way, Rowan, I know obviously you said to me earlier about Diallo. I have looked at Diallo's Twitter. Maybe I'm not with the times, but I feel very confused to who he's with. I mean, at first, I'm not going to lie, I did think it was Demba Ba at first. It's Bahambula! No, really? Wow. I'm guessing... Well, let me have a look again. I need to search Bahambula up now because I haven't actually seen Bahambula's face in a long, long time, so I can't even say properly. Bahambula. Oh, yeah, it is as well. I mean, I don't know how in the world of football Bahambula and Abdou Diallo have connected up with each other, but each to their own. Wonderful. I don't know how, but either way, obviously Rowan was just saying have a quick look. I would get it up on the screen, but it's all the hassle on that. But Abdou Diallo and Bahambula are good friends. I can presume when Bahambula played at Paris. Probably, fair play, but Rowan did say a goal. Never mind. I'll bring him in anyway. I'm guessing it's been disallowed very quickly.
I was too busy looking at Bahambula. Now, it was Andre Silva in behind his shoots. It's saved well. Oh, spilled by Galaxy cleared. It was saved, and then Henderson just doesn't get it out, and Andre Silva gets it past, puts it in the back of the net. But I think he was offside. Leipzig nearly had hope of getting a goal back in this game.
Don't down us, Rowan. I'll let you go so you stop choking. I'm going to say, we don't want Rowan dying on stream. 2-0 to City against Leipzig. As it stands, there's been a change in the Atletico Madrid game. Early change. Thomas Lemar has come off. Rodrigo de Paul is on. Good news, Rowan is okay, or else we'd have had to have done a half-time substitution somehow. I don't know how we'd have done that. But yeah, changing that game between Atletico Madrid and Porto. Let's go over to KD, though. There has been a chance in one of his games. Who's it for, Kieren?
Yeah, it's by far Real Madrid's best chance, and I'm not quite sure how Eder Militao's not put this in the back of the net, or at least got this header on target. It's a brilliant whipped-in corner, and it's free as a bird inside the box, and he heads it just wide. He has to do better, honestly. Do you know that commentary line off FIFA where he's like, he has to do better than I could have scored? I mean, maybe I couldn't have scored, but he should at least get it on target. But yeah, in the Atletico Madrid game, coincidentally, Josh, we've got a dangerous free kick around about the same spot.
Here we go. This might be it.
Around about the same spot we had it last time. And Luis Suarez is standing over it, and he is going to hit it. Here he comes. Suarez up to the ball, over the wall, and just about over the bar. A better attempt this time, but still anticlimactic as ever.
One day, Kieren. One day. Thank you very much. 0-0 still between Atletico Madrid and Porto. It might be the 100th attempt. We might sit here and do it another 99 times before a free kick or a corner goes in. But one day, we'll have a goal, which Kieren predicts from a set piece. But for now, it's still 0-0 between Atletico Madrid and Porto. We are into around about the last 7 or 8 minutes of the first half. All the games, quickly run through for those of you that have just joined the stream. If you are new, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription. 1-0 Liverpool against AC Milan. Ajax 2-1 against Sporting. Atletico Madrid 0, Porto 0. Club Brugge 1-1 against PSG. Inter Milan 0-0 against Real Madrid. And City are 2-0 to the good against Leipzig. There has been another chance in one of KD's games. It's popping off now. Who has had the chance, Kieren? Yeah,
like I was saying earlier, this Inter Milan-Real Madrid game is back and forth. And this time, Inter Milan come forward. It's definitely been a very entertaining 0-0 draw. And it was a really good chance for Brozovic. Edge of the box, just drags his shot about an inch or two wide of the post. I mean, Inter Milan are getting getting going, but so are Real Madrid. I can expect the first goal soon. I mean, fingers crossed, touch wood, I can expect the first goal soon. But both these sides pressing for the opener in this game.
Hopefully you haven't jinxed it. Thank you, Kieren. 0-0 this time to Inter Milan and Real Madrid going to stop for a second because I think there might be a chance on here for Ajax in that Sporting game. Of course, they're already 2-1 up. Haller is on for a hat-trick in this game. Antony on the right wing. It's been an absolute menace so far for the Portuguese side, just constantly causing hassle for them. Ball's gone into the box. It could be a chance, and it is a goal. And just like that, it's Berghuis, the man who joined only a couple of months ago, I think, from their rivals Feyenoord, gets himself into the box, and Ajax a 3-1 to the good, and it's a good marauding run from the midfielder. Technically plays as a winger. He's playing in a central midfield role tonight. And again, Antony causing all forms of problems for that Sporting back line. 4 goals in the first half, still time for more. And Ajax are looking quality indeed. So 3-1 there. Let's go over to Roman now as well. He's had a chance in his game while we had the goal going between Sporting and Ajax. Who's had the chance, Roman?
He was actually in both games. The actual chance I put in was Club Brugge. Again, a possible foul on Kylian Mbappe, and he did go down injured. He's currently limping off. I don't know whether he's going to be subbed off. But Noah Lang to Ketelaere. Ketelaere back to Lang. Lang, lovely ball over the top to De Ketelaere, who then drives at Paredes and the rest of the PSG defenders. And he just takes a shot. It's forced kill on Navas, who really has not had an easy day at all. He's had to make some key saves. Cross comes in. Van der Kuhn wins the header, and Navas collects. And forced to make a really intelligent, just a really smart save. Just gets a hand to the ball, so parries it way out. And then in the other game, Angelino darting run down the left-hand side, had lots of time and space, fizzed it across. And Nathan Ake, I mean, I thought he'd put it in his own net. It turns out he just goes over the crossbar. But end-to-end action here, and Club Brugge, they are really looking for a second. And if Mbappe, I think he might just come back on the pitch, yeah. But that's nervy times if you're a PSG fan.
Thank you very much, Rowan. 2-0 Manchester City, 1-1 PSG. Greatly appreciated as the goals are still flying in. Yellow card in the Sporting Ajax game. Palinha has absolutely murdered Antony. I'm surprised, actually, that's not being given as a red card. It's a 2-footed lunging tackle. I've seen those being given as a red card before, but stop for a second, because AC Milan have scored. And we haven't spoke about this game for what? About 10 or 15 minutes. But out of nowhere, Ante Rebic and Samu Castillejo, not Castillejo, he's not on the pitch today, Salamakers have linked up together to get the goal. And as I said, it's been very, very quiet this game, hence why I've not really spoke about it. And AC Milan have equalised with a couple of minutes before half-time. Klopp doing that distinct smile where you can quite clearly tell he's pissed off. And I think he will be very pissed off because it's poor defending from Liverpool. Simon Kjaer starts off the attack. He dinks the ball up into the midfield. It's Tonali who sees the marauding run forward of Salamakers. He then finds Kessie in the midfield. Kessie then sees Rebic, who curls it into the back of the net. And the Croatian, who's starting up top tonight, has put AC Milan right back into this game. And as I said, the reason why we haven't spoke about this match is because, to be honest with you, not really much has been going on in it. But either way, Pioli absolutely delighted that his team have got back into the game. Joel Matip with a traditional hilarious reaction. I don't know what it is with Joel Matip. Everything he does is funny in the world. And Van Dijk watching on from the bench, probably thinking he could have defended that. And Christian might be watching on with tears because Liverpool won, Milan won. There's a long way to go in this game. But that, after all of the domination of the last 40 minutes from the home side, has ended up with AC Milan pegging them back level, 1-1 in that match. Hopefully plenty more action. And talking about action, we have a goal. Has it gone to Bruges? Has it gone to PSG? Or is it free for City?
It's game on in Manchester. It's 2-1. Leipzig goal and Nordi Michael. Well done to him.
It's 2-1 Milan. You're going about your game. We'll talk about mine in a second.
Emil Forsberg has just switched it to another level and he just put a lovely lofting ball in. Back post, Mukiele heads it back in and Kunku then heads it in. It's a lovely... It seems like a free kick set, like a set-piece goal, but Mukiele heads it and Kunku flicks it on. That's a lovely turn. It's short. Oh, I thought Bruges had started winning and it's going out for a corner, but Leipzig are backing it.
Thank you very much, Rowan. What about a twist? AC Milan, 2 goals in the space of about 60 seconds. It's Brahim Diaz, The man who is on loan, of course, from Real Madrid, who's put the ball in the back of the net. And literally, as I said, 60 seconds have passed and AC Milan have scored, and it comes instantly from the Liverpool goal kick from kickoff. It's Rafael Leao on the left wing. The Portuguese plays the ball into Rebic. He literally just a FIFA sweat. He tries to get it into Salimakas. There's a block on the line from Trent Alexander-Arnold, but in the end, it's Brahim Diaz who gets to the ball first. It's literally about 1 yard off the line. He's not going to miss it. He slides in for the ball, and just like that, AC Milan are 2-1 to the good. And on their return to the Champions League, it's looking like it could be maybe a historic night for the Italians, and not the night that Liverpool will have wanted indeed. So 2-1 there. We are going over to KD. He's had to wait a little bit because there is a chance in one of his games. Who's it for, Kieren?
Yeah, speaking of Italians, Inter Milan ending this half really strong. Another chance it was from a corner. Skriniar, I think it was, had the effort. And Courtois forced to make another good save. I mean, if it weren't for Courtois, it could easily be 2 or maybe 3 for Inter Milan. They're pressing well, but Real Madrid, I mean, they've had their chances as well. It's been a very, very open tie, as I've said about 3 or 4 times as you've come to me. That's going to be a foul. And I think it might even be a yellow card for Kanaloglu. No card, but a foul. But yeah, still 0-0. I'm desperate for a goal, Josh.
Desperate indeed. Hopefully he can get one soon. Thank you very much, KD. Poor Kieran. He's had no goals in any of his games so far. And in the games that I've had, we've had 4, 5, 6, 7 goals in the space of 45 minutes. Rowan has had 5 goals in the space of 45 minutes. We are being treated to some wonderful action tonight. And although Kieran hasn't got a goal in his game yet, hopefully it's been enjoyable for him. But what a half. Half time. Who would have thought that Liverpool would have been going 2-1 down to AC Milan at the break? They were in cruise control for the good 30, 35 minutes of the match. But AC Milan getting right back into this game. Goals from Rebic and Brahim Diaz in the space of 60 seconds have turned that game around on its head. And we have a thriller on our hands. And talking about a potential thriller in terms of Rowan's games, pen check VAR. Talk us through it, Rowan.
It's in the Manchester City Leipzig game, and really from the highs to the lowest of lows, and halftime in PSG Bruges. But it was just a ball into the box. Ferran Torres goes for a header, and Klosterman jumps up and blocks it. Now, they're actually showing the replay. It hits there, but Klosterman doesn't have much room to move. The referee has made his decision. He's walking back to the pitch. It's going to be a penalty. It's unfortunate. Don't get me wrong. I think Klosterman has got no room for movement. But as soon as you see him go to the screen, it was going to be a penalty. It's going to be a yellow card for Klosterman. And when Leipzig thought they really could get back into this 1-goal gap going into the half, it could be 3. It was Cancelo with a really nice ball. Ferran Torres does well. And I think it's more because Klosterman jumps across. If he doesn't get his arm there, it's unfortunate. He does hit probably there in his arm, and he's going to tuck it in, but it's one of them ones you can see why it's given. But there's going to be a penalty. Riyad Mahrez will step up to take it against Peter Galaxy. Literally, we're over the time as well for this half, so it is really going to be the final kick of the game. Riyad Mahrez will step up. Oh, that's a lovely penalty. Puts it into the right side of the net. Hits it with power. Galaxy goes wrong way. 3-1 Manchester City, and it will be the end of the half.
Thank you very much, Rowan. 3-1 to Manchester City. Leipzig getting a goal a little bit earlier on. We might have missed it because of everything going on, but 3-1 there. Manchester City getting that goal, as I said. Riyad Mahrez with a penalty, and Manchester City really are in cruise control of that match. It will be getting towards half-time in the majority of this evening's games. What a start to the night of action. We said that we were expecting blockbuster football. We didn't expect the amount of goals that we were going to be getting left, right and centre. Half-time in the Inter Milan Real Madrid game, this one might have looked like the corker of the night. It's not had the goals yet, but it's certainly been a dramatic game. Yellow card for Lautaro Martinez and Inzaghi just before half-time. So a couple of cards going in there. Might be a chance here for 3-2 in the Sporting game just before half-time, and it won't happen. Header from Paulinho goes over the bar and out of play for a goal kick. But yes, 3-1 to Manchester City in that game against Leipzig, of course, and Kunku scoring, and then Riyad Mahrez getting a goal as well. So Leipzig going to need a lot of prayers, I guess you could say, to get back into that game against this ruthless City side. As we said before, Liverpool AC Milan 2-1 at half-time. It is now half-time in a game that's probably gone under the radar tonight. Sporting 1, Ajax 3. I mean, we're talking about some absolute corkers across the board with the likes of City and Liverpool. How many people are watching this game? This would be an absolute belter of a match between Sporting and Ajax. 2 goals in the first 8 minutes for Sebastian Haller. Anthony running the show for Ajax in this game. There was a goal in the 33rd minute for Paulinho. I've got to say, poor keeping from the Ajax keeper, Pasveer, who has made a real howler, and it's a goal that Sporting probably shouldn't have had. It was a really awkward angle for Paulinho to go through on goal and score. Pasveer tried to save the ball and it ricocheted through his hands and into the goal. But a couple of minutes after that, Steven Berghuis, just recently joined from Feyenoord, got the 3rd goal of the game. Ajax in cruise control, Sporting with a lot of work to do, as we have had half-time in the game between Atletico Madrid and Porto as well. 0-0 as it stands in that game. Of course, not really had a great deal going on in that match in terms of big key chances. But of course, we will talk to Kieren in a little moment's time about that game. But very quickly going through the comments from what you guys have been putting, of course, apologies about not going through them as much as we could. So many dramatic moments already, and we're only 45 minutes in. Carol did find out about the Sheriff side. They're from Transnistria. Officially, the Pridnestrovian Moldovan Republic is an unrecognized breakaway state located in the narrow strip of land between the river Dniester and the Moldovan Ukrainian. I'm guessing he put the little bit further down. Where is it? Border, which is internationally recognized as part of the Moldova Tiraspol, is the capital. Sheriff are from here. So I think the club's fans and the people of Transnistria prefer to be known as Transnistrian. So there you go. That's how they like to be pronounced. It's quite a hard one to say because it's a very long-winded word, but I know they've got certain reasons to why they like to not be called Moldovans. But then going through a couple of other comments as well. Bernaldo is in the building. Welcome along, Bernaldo. Apologies for not being able to say anything before now to you. He did ask if Rome was choking earlier. Yes, he was choking, but he's all right now. He is alive. We haven't had to do a last-minute substitution. And then he's just put Sheriff Tiraspol going to win it all. They're winning it. We thought Ferencváros won it last year. Sheriff are winning it this year. Bernaldo said as well, he hopes Sporting can get another goal and get into their groove, make that game a little bit more interesting. Tubbs said he's picked some good games to watch tonight. Milan, Liverpool and City, Leipzig. You've got 2 very good games on right now. And then Tubbs has said, I forgot to like the vid. Smash the likes, people. Please do. If you are new as always, don't forget to leave a like and a subscription. We've got plenty more action to come tonight. And we've got plenty more action to come over the next few days as well. As you can see, tomorrow you can join us for the Europa League and the Conference League. Me and Rowan, we're going to be live at 5:35. And then joining us afterwards for the later games, KD is going to join us from 7:55 for the nighttime matches in the Europa League and Conference League. Sunday nights, 10 to 8, Valencia versus Real Madrid, top 2 up against each other in La Liga. And then on Tuesday at 7:35, you can join me for Fiorentina against Inter Milan 2. Hopefully, real corkers of games in Italy and Spain. But we are pretty much at half-time across the board in all of the games tonight. And to run through the scorelines as it stands, Liverpool 2-1 down at half-time to AC Milan. 2 goals in 60 seconds put the Italian side in front at Anfield. Sporting, as we said, 3-1 down to Ajax. Atletico Madrid 0, Porto 0. Bruges 1, PSG 1. Inter Milan 0, Real Madrid 0. And Manchester City 3, RB Leipzig 1. Let's go over to Rowan first. Why not? Let's go over to Rowan. Rowan, you're getting the goals again tonight. Absolute thrillers. Manchester City, obviously 4 goals in that game. We'll go through that one first. How's it been?
Been a good game. I think before that Manchester City got that first Nathan Ake going in the opening 15 minutes, we were really back and forth. I've completely lost you, Josh. There. We're really back and forth. Both teams, I mean, it's a huge game in it for both these sides, and both teams look like they wanted it. And then that first goal went in, and you saw Leipzig slow down. The second goal went in, and it's not an unfortunate goal, but for the rest of the team, it is. But Mukiele should have had it into his own net. Should be doing a lot better, especially because he is a talented centre back, and he is like out of that French dynasty. He's the only one out of Upamecano, Kanata, and him. He's the only one left. And genuinely, I think Angelino's been Leipzig's best player by a mile. We talked about when he first went to Leipzig, and we've talked about him nearly every season, how he just looks like a completely different player. But they did get the goal back, and I thought this could be the sign. Klosterman handball changed it all. But I don't think this game is overdone. Man City, on the break, they look weak in terms of there's so many gaps on that right-hand side that I think... That's right. So I am a fan on the entire time. I do apologise if you could hear that. On that right-hand side where Angelino's attacking, at points on the counter, there seems to be no one there, and it leaves open space. On the other hand, Manchester City, clinical as ever at points. They really are. And if anything, if they keep how they're playing, they're not going to lose. But if Leipzig can get a goal back within 10, 20 minutes, it could have a cracker of an ending, but it's just a wait and see.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the stats, obviously, go through them as always. 7 shots, 3 on target for City, 56% possession. 3 shots, only 1 on target for Leipzig, obviously, and Kunku getting that goal. Do you think there's more goals in that one?
Yeah, because I think Leipzig have had moments, it's not even led to a shot. Andre Silva, his close-knit footwork, there was a point just before the Nkunku goal where Andre Silva had it at his feet, and just lovely interlinking shot, like direct passes from him to Nkunku, back to him, just passing around neatly, and he just couldn't get the turn with the ball quick enough. But we saw what he did last season, obviously Leipzig signing, making a statement saying, we'll take a rival striker. But he has gone missing. Forsberg switched it on. He really did. I think he was quite invisible for the first 25 minutes, 30 minutes, but there was sort of a moment that just sort of switched where it's like, okay, I need to actually start playing well. So they definitely get goals. But for Manchester City, they've had defensive worries. I think Nathan Ake, going forward, he's actually been quite good in the air. He's won all of his headers. It's just he was at fault. He didn't mark Nkunku, and Nkunku isn't the tallest of players. He should relay someone small compared to him winning the headers. But definitely goals in this game, not over and done with.
And talk about the other game. I mean, I've just looked at the stats of this one. This one's turning out to be a corker as well. Club Brugge 1, PSG 1. We were all expecting tonight Messi, Neymar, Mbappe to go out there, shine in the Champions League. Yeah. Brugge are in it, 1-1.
And it really did look like that, because I think Brugge had moments at the start, but once that first PSG goal, I think probably everyone thought, game done, PSG will run with it. And Club Brugge said, no, they didn't. And the 3 players from Brugge that you've got to stand out, and that's Charles de Ketelaere, Noah Lang, and I'm going to find out his first name. I know it's Kamal Soa. Really, he's, on that right-hand side, has caused so many problems for Diallo, and the same, both wingers caused problems for Hakim and Diallo. Hakimi's not looked like himself today. Noah Lang really having the best of him. De Ketelaere's footwork's been so nice, and he's not afraid to take a shot. There's a couple of times now where he's been outside the box at slightly some audacious attempts, and he's made Keylor Navas either catch it or make a save. Defensively, I think Clinton Matter's been the best defender on the pitch, but he's been caught out. But all in all, they've played very, very well. They really have. And for Club Brugge, stick at what you're doing, because you can see, especially your bigger name players, your Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe, they are getting angry, because there's been points where they haven't been able to get anything going. And it was on a counter-attack. Messi tried to start a thing, and the ref got in the way, nothing thing. But Messi just looks fuming, and it's sometimes when you see with these lower sides, or you see with cup games, these lower sides can just anger the big teams, because the big teams are not getting in the way. And it's what's happening with Club Brugge, and you've got to tip your hats to them, because they are playing very, very well right now, and easily could win this game. In the stats as well, it is Club Brugge dominating shooting.
Yeah, it is. They've had more chances in the game than PSG. 4 shots, 3 on target for PSG with 69% possession, but Club Brugge, 9 shots, 5 on target, and they've only had 31%. You know, I said before, didn't I, at the beginning of the stream, I think the most recognisable result Brugge have had in the last couple of years is when they got something against Real Madrid, and it was very similar. A lack of possession, counter-attacking football, and they got the just deserves. 45 minutes left. I think you could say that this team is probably one of the strongest teams we've seen in quite some time in football. Can Bruges do the unthinkable and hold on?
I don't know, because you look at the depth, and PSG can still bring on an Icardi, a Draxler, a Nuno Mendes, a Danilo Pereira, Tilo Kehrer, players who have played in this situation before, whereas, I mean, just the depth isn't really there for Club Brugge, but you might not need it again. If the fitness levels are there, I think one player I think we'll see come off is Hans Vanaken, because he worked his ass off for 30 minutes, and he just got slower and slower through his game. But from set pieces and from trying to give Lang, De Ketelaere, a chance to start playing, it also has come through Vanaken. And so keep him there. And I think they've just got to just keep with what they're doing, because they could very easily, and I thought that's what was going to happen, PSG could easily get a goal, get another goal, and simple, the game's gone. But they haven't, and you've just got to use that. And I think all of us tonight will sort of become a Club Brugge fan the closer they get to scoring.
I think we're all becoming Club Brugge fans, and we're only 45 minutes in, but hopefully we'll see whether or not they can hold on in that game. Thank you very much, Rowan. We will let Rowan go for now, of course. Second half will come up in a little bit as my big fat head comes back on the screen. Let's lower my head and bring in KD, because we've got 2 games that he's had. Kieren, I mean, where are the goals? What's happened? 0-0 in both of your games. We'll start with the first one. Inter Milan, Real Madrid. It might have not had any goals in it yet, but with the way that you've been talking about that game, end-to-end drama.
Yeah, I definitely think that Inter Milan have been the better of the two sides. But Real Madrid, when they come forward, they do look quite dangerous. I'm just waiting for the first goal to go in, and hopefully that will break the deadlock. Inter Milan, they look really dangerous. Barella's controlling the game, and Martinez is looking really sharp as well. Real Madrid, I mean, when they come forward, I mean, the best player going forward has probably been Casemiro. That probably says a lot for them. He's had a couple of long-range efforts. Probably the best for them. Militao missing that. I'm going to call it a sitter because it were a free header inside the box. It's been the better of the two games. It's been very entertaining. Whereas the other game, it's been a very slow burner. That's all I'll say.
I'm going to get the stats up because obviously the Inter Milan Real Madrid one, I'll go back to that second. As you said, Inter Milan dominating the game in terms of opportunities. They've had 14 shots in comparison to Real Madrid's 5. Inter Milan had 4 shots on target. Real Madrid haven't had a single one yet. Atletico Madrid Porto, it's quite the opposite. 4 shots in the game overall, 2 apiece. 1 shot on target in the match for Atletico Madrid. It's not the high intense game you would have liked to have had. But obviously, when looking at the bench, and I'll get the bench up very quickly again for that game, we said about it earlier, it is a stacked bench, probably perfectly for this type of game. Griezmann, Matheus Cunha, Correa, De Paul, who's already come on, of course. It's stupid to say this, who would you bring on to be the difference maker in this type of game?
I think bringing De Paul on definitely helped because, I mean, I don't know if it was a tactical decision to take off Thomas Lemar or not, but he didn't look happy coming off. But De Paul certainly offers him a little bit more, and he won a few fouls here and there. I mean, you've got to bring Matheus Cunha on maybe, but then you're looking at sacrificing one of Luis Suarez or João Felix, as well as if you want to bring on Antoine Griezmann as well. And I mean, João Felix has probably been one of the best players on the pitch in a very poor game. So it's easy for me to say, bring these players on, but they're going to lose something because they can't lose a man out of that midfield or they're going to be very, very unbalanced. But I think Porto have got a few men on yellow cards. Atletico Madrid need to take advantage of that and try get maybe somewhat of an advantage in this game, and maybe that's when we'll see the likes of Suarez and João Felix really take this game by the scruff of the neck, because we know what Antonio Conte, not Antonio Conte, you know what Diego Simeone's style of play is like. He'll take a 1-0 win when it's scrappy over a 3-0 lovely football sort of win. So I'm expecting Atletico Madrid to still win this match quite comfortably, I'm not going to lie.
We'll have to see whether or not Atletico Madrid and Porto, one of them can get the winner. Thank you very much, Kieren. Let's go back to the games. We are underway. There was a goal in Liverpool Milan. Milan had the ball in the back of the net, but it's been disallowed. It was Simon Kjaer who got the ball in the net. I think it's been disallowed for offside in the end, of course. everybody in absolute ruptures, if you're a Milan fan at the very least. For the fact that it was in the back of the net, it's not going to count. It is 2-1 to Milan. I'm just having a few issues, just trying to sort them out in the background as it stands. Should be all right now. But 2-1 as it stands to Liverpool. To AC Milan against Liverpool. But all the games should be roughly about to get back underway. Christopher's in the building. How are we doing, Chris? Welcome along to the stream. Hopefully you're all good. And look at a few of your comments as you guys have been talking through half-time. Kaz saying it's a brilliant turnaround for Milan. It definitely is, doing very well indeed. Tubbs did ask any Bundesliga watch-alongs this weekend. There's no Bundesliga watch-alongs this weekend. At some point, we will have some Bundesliga watch-alongs on again. For now, probably won't be any for a little while. I've got, obviously, the La Ligue watch-along, which is going to be on Sunday night. And then we've also got the Serie A game on Tuesday. But apart from that, there's not going to be as many solo watch-alongs, probably until a little bit later on in the September, October time. That's what I would have said, as I'm just trying to sort out these problems. Apologies. Hopefully now I should have sorted them. We should be all right. There we go. I think we're all good. Tubbs obviously went for a second. He's back. Dad's not happy with the Liverpool form. Says he's got to bring on Van Dijk and maybe Mane Gomez. I don't think he's brought anyone on, if I'm correct. I think there's been no changes. Have I missed a goal? I missed a goal. It's 2-2 Liverpool Milan. While I had my problems, I missed the goal. It's Liverpool 2, Milan 2. I'll be politely honest with you. I didn't get to see shit all of it because it decided to crash. But Salah has put Liverpool back straight into this game. It's 2-2. Of course I missed the goal, honestly. It could have been 3-1 about 2 seconds ago. He chips the keeper, Salah. Mainland's beat. Liverpool are right back in this game. 2-2. This is a belter of a match. Just a shame I bloody missed that. Cheers, BT, for deciding to boot me off. Greatly appreciated. But Daz did ask, has Klopp made any changes? As far as I'm aware, I don't think he has. I think he's stuck with his original side that was out on the pitch. But let's go over to Rowan. Let's see if he's had any chances in his game. Hopefully he's not missed them.
It was Club Brugge, and they've been the better side coming off the start half of this game. And it was one of the first ones to come back. And it was really well worked. It was De Ketelaere, found De Ketelaere on the left. He puts it into the box, and it was Hendry, the Scotsman. Again, similar to the position where Paredes was and Vanaken were. But unfortunately, there was a defender in front of him. But it's a lovely football. Vanaken through to De Ketelaere. De Ketelaere back into the box. Hendry tries to pick the right corner. He actually does the smart thing because Navas is already diving, but he doesn't notice and he tries to pick his corner. It's blocked well by Diallo, but really well by Diallo. But so close for Club Brugge. And tell you what, if they can play like they are, they're winning this by a mile.
Thank you very much, Rowan. We have a goal, but it's Sporting Ajax. Game on. Sporting right back into this game. I think it was Kyle who said, or Tubbs, someone said it a little bit earlier on. They really wanted to see Sporting get back into this game, and they've done just that. The goal coming from Paulinho. He's got his second in the game, 2 minutes into the second half. And I'll tell you something, I've got 2 belters tonight. 5 goals in Sporting Ajax, 4 goals in Liverpool Milan. We'll try and keep you up to date as the goals go flying in. I think I've solved the problems with the Liverpool game, hence why I missed the goal, which Salah scored. Apologies to why there was absolutely no reaction whatsoever, because I got to see absolutely shit all from it. But we're all good now. We're all good, hopefully. Change in the PSG match. PSG fans probably want to look away at this one. Mbappe's off injured. Icardi has come on. And then change the Porto game. Wendell coming on. And Zaidu off, of course. Wendell, you might know him from Leverkusen, joined Porto quite recently. I'm going to have to take a breather. There's just drama going on left, right, and centre in all of the games. Sporting Ajax, yellow card coming out. There's some feisty tackles in this game. Mexican Edson Alvarez going in with a flying kick on Paulinho, just slightly grazes Paulinho. Referee gets the yellow card out. Maybe I'm giving it a little bit too much detail. It wasn't a massively bad flying kick, but he did go up with the studs, and yellow card does come out either way. But it's going to be very hard to cover both of these games because they're so end to end. But let's talk about Liverpool AC Milan, because Liverpool coming forward. It's going to be Salah on the right wing. and in the end, just played the ball a little bit too far forward. And unfortunately, it's not going to be a chance for Liverpool, as the goal for Sporting has been disallowed. It's not going to count. So Paulinho's goal, who he thought he'd bagged, has now actually not counted. He's up in arms about it. It is now Sporting 1, Ajax 3. And Paulinho, who did have, or would have had 2 goals, he's now back down to 1. It's 3-1 in that match now between Sporting and Ajax. Drama left, right and centre. And no doubt we'll get plenty more where that came from in both Liverpool, Milan and Ajax. And there's a goal in that Ajax game. And as it was just 3-2, it's 4-1 to Ajax. Seb Haller has a hat-trick. He will be taking the match ball home no matter what happens, as the Ivorian has bagged his 3rd of the game. And in the space of, 5 minutes of the second half, we've had 2 goals. One of them's been disallowed. Ajax are 4-1 to the good. To describe this goal, as Rowan has had a goal in his game, describe this one very quickly. It's very reminiscent of one of the goals we had earlier in the match. Anthony, again, been so key in this game for Ajax. He's on the right wing. He plays a perfect outside of the foot cross into Sebastian Haller. This time, he doesn't have to dive for the ball. He's about 5 yards out from goal. It's a simple tap-in, and he takes the match ball home. 4-1 Ajax, and just as Sporting thought they were in it, they're probably out of it now. But we'll go over to Rowan. There's been a goal in one of his games. Who's it for, Rowan?
I mean, if you were at the start of the game, you're going to put bets on a player to get a double from a header. You probably go with Nathan Ake. No, it's Christopher Nkunku. It's 3-2.
Wow.
And it was Lerma. Play the ball through after, I think De Bruyne goes down injured. Leipzig carry on and De Bruyne does get back up. But Lerma plays through to Olmo, who still has a lot of work to do. Plays a lovely dinking ball. And Nkunku's sort of lost the focus of Ake. Diaz doesn't pick him up. Brugge scored. And then Nkunku, free header, a lovely glancing header to the left-hand side of the goal. Henderson's not getting to it. It was a lovely goal. And it's 3-2 Leipzig. And City might be here. De Bruyne outside the box. Just puts it wide. Also, as it stands right now, I've won 20 quid. Because I put 3-2 from City to beat Leipzig.
That's what you love to see. Thank you very much, Rowan. Winning off the pitch as well, which is good to see. 3-2. Who would have thought Leipzig would get themselves back into that match? They were looking, I wouldn't say down and out. I think we said earlier that they got a little opportunity to get back into the game. But Nkunku with a double, might he take the match ball home as well? We'll have to see. As I said a moment ago, Sporting 4-1 down now. They actually had the ball in the back of the net, Sporting. Paulinho with a goal which was disallowed. 60 seconds later, Haller bags his hat-trick, 4-1 in that game. And it's mad, isn't it? Because I wanted to talk about Liverpool AC Milan tonight a hell of a lot. There hasn't been a chance because there's just been goals left, right and centre. And it's Sporting coming forward again in that game against Ajax. Chance may be now as the ball's lofted into the box, it's the post. And so nearly Paulinho could have had what could have been a hat-trick, but wasn't because his second one was disallowed. It was so nearly 4-2 to Sporting. 4-2 to Ajax, but Sporting would have scored in that game. Let's go over to KD. He's had no goals yet, but he's had a chance. Who's it for, Kieren?
I have no idea how they haven't scored into Milan. And we've just had a chance simultaneously in the Atletico Madrid game, and Oblak's had to scramble across his line to get it. Free header inside the box for Edin Dzeko. Heads it down into the ground, making it difficult for Courtois to save, but Courtois again makes another good stop, and then Skriniar is right ahead in front of the goal and miscontrols it, and it just flies off his boot and behind him somehow. And I can't believe I haven't seen a goal tonight, but we have got 2 substitutions as well. Perisic is off, and DiMarco and Dumfries are coming on, so I can only imagine it's probably Darmian, the other man that's coming off. But yeah, entertaining, but still yet to see a goal.
Hopefully we see one soon. I feel like I keep saying that, but hopefully by the 90th minute, we'll have at least one goal for you. Thank you very much, KD. 0-0 still, as it stands between Atletico Madrid and in the Real Madrid game as well. No goals going on there. Me and Rowan have nicked all the goals tonight, it looks like. Hopefully, as I said, Kieren does get one very, very soon indeed. Let's take a breather. This is a moment to breathe. breathing in and out because this has been a crazy night so far. Goals left, right, and centre. 4 goals in the Liverpool game, 5 goals in the Ajax match, 5 goals in the PSG game, Man City game. Sorry, there might be 5 goals in the PSG game, but so far there's 2. And Club Brugge doing very well against PSG, if I say so myself, in that match. Let's take the breather for a moment and have a look at what you've been saying in the comments. Obviously, Tubbs saying about the goal for Leipzig. Kyle hoping that Leipzig can get back in the game. And then Winvow saying, how has Inter not got a goal as of yet? With the stats, I've got no idea. Obviously, Kieran's watching the game and he said himself he doesn't know how Inter haven't got a goal. But let's hope we do see one very soon indeed. Let's talk about Liverpool Milan, though. Half an hour of this game left. End to end now between Liverpool and Milan. Obviously, Liverpool fans have been very disappointed with the fact that they conceded before half-time twice. To get that goal back from Salah instantly is it's constantly paving the way for this game to be end-to-end till the very end of the match. But KD has said there's been a yellow card for Kondogbia in that match against Atletico Madrid against Porto. He loves the yellow card. I swear every time he plays football, he always goes into the book, Kondogbia. And again, he's in the book tonight for Atletico Madrid. Liverpool looking to come forward here. Ball played towards Joel Matip at the halfway line. He's going to play it back to Joe Gomez. But we're going to go over to Rowan. There's been a goal. Who's it for, Rowan?
It's for Manchester City. Thankfully, I cashed out because it's Jack Grealish with a lovely goal. I mean, he's slowly paying back the money they bought him for. 2 seconds, let me turn it down because it's very loud. But that is lovely from Jack Grealish. Just gets it on the left-hand side, feigns to go left, takes it on his right, open space breaks, and it is, I would say, it's a lovely, that's an incredible ball off the top by, I think it was Diaz. Grealish does well to get onto the end of it. And then he just drives, takes it into the box, onto his right, curls it past Peter Galaxy. Lovely smart finish from Jack Grealish, and it's 4-2 Manchester City. And I think when Leipzig thought they could get back into it, looks further and further away. It's 1 step forward, 2 steps back for Leipzig right now.
It is indeed. Thank you very much, Rowan. Looks like it could be game, set and match in Manchester. Absolute corker for those that are there at the Etihad. Chance, though, in one of KD's games. Who's it for, Kieren?
Well, I've had 2 chances, Josh. Part of just at the post from an absolute nothing cross. Otavio crossed it in and Oblak scrambling to try and keep it out, and it just hits the post and bounces away. And then Real Madrid enjoying a nice little spell in this game as Vinicius Jr. gets into the box and wins a corner. But the chance was for actually Carvajal. A nice little move from Real Madrid down the right-hand side. Benzema got it in the box, held it up, played it onto Carvajal, who was 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and he just kicked it straight at Handanovic. And as expected, doing anything but scoring in this match at the moment.
Very unfortunate indeed. All of the work for the goals hasn't come in Kieran's games. Thank you very much, KD. 0-0 as it stands between Madrid, Atletico Madrid even, and Porto, and Inter Milan and Real Madrid. Chance in the Liverpool game. Long-range effort taken on from Robertson. Simple save for Maignan. And then a yellow card in the Leipzig City game. Former City man, Angelino, gone into the book for Leipzig. And a change one in the Porto game. Pepe coming off. Marcano is coming on. So a change at the back there for FC Porto. With about half an hour to go across the board in the games tonight. We were saying about the 6 goals in the City game. It's a real treat tonight in the Champions League with the goals. We expected it to be a very enjoyable night with the games. They all looked tasty. And you could say 5 of them are delivering. Maybe not the Atletico Madrid game, but 5 of them are delivering at the very least. Going to be a yellow card in the Liverpool Milan match. I think it's gone the way of AC Milan. The yellow card, Brahim Diaz going into the book, the goal scorer. Just bring it down, Mohamed Salah. And in the end, it is going to be a rightfully given free kick for Liverpool. Change in the Man City game. Rodri coming off and Fernandinho coming on. So like-for-like change. And we're going to have a few changes as well in the Liverpool Milan game. Florenzi on loan from Roma. He's come on for Salamakers. And I believe, if I'm correct, there is a certain icon of the game who's coming on. Rafael Leao is coming off the pitch. And there's only one man who's coming on, and that is Olivier Giroud. The number 9 is on for the last half an hour of this game. Of course, the last match he played, he was lifting the trophy with Chelsea. So he'll be hoping he could bring some of that magic to AC Milan. Another change as well, by the way, in the City game. Gundogan coming on and Bernardo Silva coming off. So plenty of changes across the board. Talking about changes, Atletico Madrid now making a few changes of their own. It's substitution central right now. 5 changes, of course, in all of the matches across the Champions League. Koke, Hermoso and Felix have come off, with Griezmann, Renan Lodi and Correa all coming on. So 3 changes from Simeone in that game against Porto. Of course, Porto still 0-0 against Atletico Madrid. Wouldn't be a bad way to start the season, would it, in the Champions League? We are going to get a change for Liverpool now. It looks like an injury substitution here. Divock Origi is going to be coming off the pitch. Sadio Mane coming on. Would Mane have come on in this game anyway? I think he would have, but maybe not this early. It looks like Origi is coming off, as I said, because of an injury. More substitutions. They're all flying in. RB Leipzig this time with the subs. And it's going to be substitutions with Poulsen, Haidara and Szoboszlai coming on. Lima, Silva and Forsberg coming off. So a couple of changes for Leipzig as well. It were 4-2 down as it stands in their match. Winvar saying, damn, you made me think Zlatan's coming on. Unfortunately not. Zlatan's out injured for this game. The real legend of football is on the pitch. And we're on number 9 watch now for the rest of the night with Giroud. See if he bags or not. But as it stands, 25 minutes left. Liverpool 2, AC Milan 2, Sporting 1, Ajax 4. There was a disallowed goal in the second half for Sporting. It could have been 4-2. Paulinho could have had 2, but one of his goals was disallowed. Madrid, Porto still 0-0. Inter Milan, Real Madrid still 0-0. Bruges still 1-1 against PSG. They're holding on and very, very well in terms of how the Belgians are doing. And then, as I said before, Manchester City 4, Leipzig 2. You might have seen with the other games earlier on as well. Dortmund with a 2-1 win against Besiktas in the 5:45 p.m. kickoff. Rowan buzzing with that one. And then Sheriff Tiraspol getting a 2-0 win against Shakhtar in their first ever Champions League match. That is going to be a historic result for Sheriff. As Winvow said in the chat, Giroud is a flop. Giroud has a Champions League medal. I've got to ask you actually, Winvow, what team do you support? I've never asked you because I've got to find out first what team you support before I say anything. That's why we didn't see him at Chelsea much. Yes, but he scored the most important goal in that match against Atletico Madrid, which got you through to the latter stages. If he hadn't scored that, would Chelsea have gone through or not? That is a question for another day. And look, I guess you can say to a certain extent, maybe Giroud didn't play as much for Chelsea as I can't even say as he probably should have. Because when you've got Werner in front of you, it was always going to be hard for him, regardless of whether Werner was offside about 5,000 times or not. But whenever Giroud was on, he gave it his all, and I think you have to give credit to Giroud for what he did for Chelsea with the few goals he scored. I mean, when Vassis is a Barca fan, there's not much to really say about Barca right now in terms of putting them down because they're already down and out as it stands, but. Not a nice result last night, was it, for Barcelona at all? But we've had a goal in another one of the games tonight, and it is a 5-star performance for Ajax. And it's finally a deserved goal in this game for Seb Haller. He has a 4th goal, that's right. He's on fire tonight, the Ivorian. And again, I mean, we could sit here, rinse and repeat tonight. It's been a simple performance for Seb Haller in the box. Literally reminiscent of 3 of the goals tonight. It's a simple pass from Edson Alvarez into Seb Haller. It's 5 yards out from goal. It's a simple finish past Adan, and he's got 4 goals on the night tonight. And Seb Haller is doing an absolutely brilliant job for Ajax, and he's going to be taking the match ball home indeed. Very, very good. For Seb Haller and very, very good for Ajax. We've got 5 goals on the night. As Winvar is saying, of course, 5 for Ajax. Sorry for the spoil. Don't worry about it. It's all right. I didn't see your comment until now. And then Benal is saying, Sporting, please. It could have been 3-2 had that goal have not been disallowed. But how things have changed very quickly. Very, very unfortunate for... I'm saying very unfortunate. They've not had a good night tonight, Sporting. They've been pretty poor, if I say so myself. But Ajax certainly making the most of it. As Winvar was said, someone bet me if Bayern scored 3+, I'd wear a Muller jersey all day today. Are you wearing that Muller jersey? Have you stuck to the bet win vow? It depends whether you class 3+ as 4 or whether you class it as 3. I'm pretty sure you're wearing that Muller jersey as we speak. But talking about changes, Inter Milan, Real Madrid, former Barca man, Vidal and Correa on the pitch. For Inter Milan, Çalhanoğlu and Lautaro Martinez coming off. So a few changes in that Inter Milan, Real Madrid game. Still 0-0 as it stands. So not too bad for Inter Milan if they can come out with a point. Probably deserve a win with the way that the stats have gone so far in that game. We'll have to see whether or not they can go on and get themselves that winning goal. 0-0 as it stands, though. Liverpool coming forward here. Jota in the box. Jota's in the middle, takes the shot on deflection from Simon Kjaer, goes over the bar, and it's going to be a corner for Liverpool. Simon Kjaer with the block. Can they get the third goal of the game here, Liverpool? We'll have to see, as there is a change in the City match. Rodrigo coming on for Vazquez. And he is wearing the Muller jersey. I mean, as Tubbs has said, that's what I thought. 3+ is more than 3, not 3 or more. And Liverpool have got the goal. And it's Jordan Henderson from the resulting corner. And it's captain's delight as Anfield goes wild. And no doubt Chris will be celebrating, doing cartwheels in Anfield as Liverpool have taken the lead 3-2 on the night. I'm just going to change the scoreline because I'm pretty sure. I'm just going to check to see if there's another goal elsewhere. I'm seeing my private chat flying. There has been another goal in one of the games. I'll talk about the Liverpool one very quickly. It is an absolute belter from Jordan Henderson. The corner comes out to the edge of the box and he volleys it into the back of the net. It does bobble on the ground. Maignan is beaten on his left corner of the post. Jordan Henderson with an absolute belter. And Jurgen Klopp celebrating with Thiago by picking him up and just tossing him about. And just like that, Liverpool are back ahead with an absolute belter from Jordan Henderson. What a game. As we're just seeing as well, goal not given or disallowed in the Manchester City match. Talk us through it, Rowan.
Yeah, it was a great ball in behind by João Cancelo. Really good ball. And Ferran Torres has broke through, and it looks onside from first things. He slots it past Galaxy's lovely finish, and then the ref puts the flag up. No long. Oh, sorry, I'm so invested in Bruges right now because they're literally not all over PSG, but my God, they defended, they've attacked, and it is just a millimetre. It's a really good spot by the assistant, and it did go to VAR. Was narrowly offside, so this I was going to put game over, but. Only a 2-goal deficit, 20 minutes left, still enough time, but the way City are playing this is game over.
Thank you very much, Rowan. 4-2 City as it stands. Club Brugge still holding on 1-1. We've still got 20 minutes left. It feels like a very long 90 minutes, but in a good way because there's been so much going on in terms of the two matches I've got at least and everything else going on. Maybe not for KD with the Madrid-Porto game, but I mean, Tubbs saying, can someone please donate a goal to KD? I'll donate KD a goal. He's going to get one around about the 75th minute. KD will get a goal then. That's my prediction. Hopefully he does get one. But we are going to get a few changes in the Liverpool game. Thiago's coming on. Jota is coming off. Benassa is coming off. And Tonali's coming on. So a few changes for both teams in that match. But Liverpool ahead now at Anfield. Chris has been treated, isn't he, tonight? He's at Anfield watching this match. And it is a delightful game for him with 20 minutes to go as Liverpool look to come forward again. Here's Curtis Jones, another one of the players that's just come on in the last minute or two. Fabinho into Henderson. He's been told to shoot from long range. He declines. Plays the ball into Salah. Feeds Mane. Back to Salah again. Pass a little bit too heavy from Mane. So Henderson will retrieve it on the right wing. Dinks the ball towards Mane. Mane at the near post, plays it towards Curtis Jones, and he tries to get a touch on the ball, but in the end, it's going to come back out to Liverpool again. And they're just starting to get into their mojo here now, Liverpool. Especially after those 2 goals in 60 seconds. They're really back into the swing of things, and you can just feel a sense of whether or not Liverpool could get a second goal in the... No, it'd be the third goal, wouldn't it, in the second half, actually. Scored 2, of course, in the second half, but the 4th of the game overall, either way. We are going to have a few changes in one of Kieren's games. Porto making a couple more changes in their game. Sergio Oliveira and Vitinha coming on. Uribe and Tony Martinez off. So a few changes. Liverpool coming forward, though. Trent Alexander-Arnold trying to feed a ball into Salah. Kiers had to kick it out of play. And again, another chance where Liverpool are battering Milan. And it feels like it's gone back to how it originally was in the first half. Just pure domination from the home side. Going to get a few changes as well in the Ajax match. Anthony, who I've got to say has been class tonight for Ajax. He's coming off the pitch. And David Neres is coming on. And my word, he's had a brilliant performance, the Brazilian, tonight. There's been a few yellow cards. Messi's gone into the book in the PSG game, probably in frustration, no doubt. And then a yellow card for Vitinha in the Atletico Madrid Porto game. And then the other substitution to tell you about is Devin Wrench coming on, the youngster for Ajax, for the last 20 minutes of that match. So lots of action, lots of drama. Are we going to get any more goals? We've had 6 in the Ajax game, 5 in the Liverpool game, 6 in the City game. It's goals galore tonight. As Curtis Jones comes forward here for Liverpool, he tried to bend one from outside the box. And I think he might have just got a corner here for Liverpool. I think it might be a slight deflection, seeing back from the replay, whether or not there was a very nimble touch from one of the AC Milan defenders. No touch at all. And it will be a goal kick for AC Milan. But certainly, Liverpool knocking on the door for another goal in this game. As Manchester City have made a few more substitutions. I mean, they're 4-2 up and they're taking it absolutely seriously. Foden and Sterling on for De Bruyne and Torres. Not what you want to see, is it really, if you're an RB Leipzig player with 20 minutes left? You've got 2 of the most creative English players coming onto the pitch for the last 20 minutes or so. It's not what you'd like to see. But you can hear Anfield absolutely rocking now. Still, this game, you could say, is in the balance for Milan. Only need 1 goal to get something in this match and maybe take it away from Liverpool. But no doubt, if they do get a result tonight, Liverpool, it will be a very, very memorable first opening match day fixture. As we're just looking, chance in one of the games for Rowan. Who's it for?
It's for Club Brugge, and it's not really a massive chance, but De Ketelaere's whipped it in. Noah Lang's gone for the overhead, and it looks amazing, and he just doesn't get the right connection. He ends up putting it wide, and he lands on his hip, but he does go for the overhead. Looks incredible. Brobre is on for Olmo, and Nunmensch is on for Abdou Diallo as well.
Thank you very much, Rowan. It's 4-2, Manchester City, Leipzig, and 1-1, Bruges and PSG. Whether or not we get a few more goals in those games, we will have to see. I'm seeing Rowan typing. I'm going to bring him in.
It's not over. The subs have happened for City, and is that a hat trick? I heard Poulsen, but I can see Nkunku. I think Christopher Nkunku's got a hat trick. 4-3, seemingly out of nowhere. It was on the right. It was a good ball in. Poulsen does really well, plays through Nkunku, and Nkunku slots it past Henderson. 4-3 here at the Etihad. And oh my, 15 minutes left. That's a lovely pass by Poulsen, and even better finish for Nkunku, who may get the match ball, but he might not even go on with the victory. So, great, interesting 15 minutes going to occur here.
Thank you very much, Rowan. Game on, 4-3. Manchester City, Leipzig. Who'd have thought that? Incredible game. Looks like we're going to have 2 match balls going home today with Nkunku and Haller. And there is still time for a potential winner in that match. I'm just having a few problems with the Liverpool game again. Apologies about that. I will try and sort that out. In the meantime, we've got a dangerous free kick in one of the KD's games. Is it going to end up in a goal, Kieren?
I mean, I feel like I need some sort of excuse to come in and talk because there's nothing happening in these games at all. But it is a free kick for Porto on the edge of the box. And Felipe has got the yellow card from the resulting foul. It's been a very dirty game, this one. I'm not going to lie. There's been quite a few fouls. I mean, Vitinha got a yellow card literally seconds after coming on off the bench. And now Porto, it's right on the edge of the box. It's in a good position. However, there is a man down injured, so we might have a little bit of extended period before the free kick's actually taken. So if you do want to take me out or whatever, or talk about something, feel free. Because I see that Rowan has said goal.
He has said goal. Who's it for, Rowan?
We talk about one step forward, two step backs, and I feel so sorry for Christian Nkunku because every time he's scored, City have replied, and João Cancelo, right outside the box, just stops, lashes it across to the left-hand side of the net, outside the box. Absolutely incredible finish, 5-3 here. And poor Christopher Nkunku, not poor Leipzig, they deserve it, but Nkunku's got a hat-trick, and they are losing 5-3. I'm
sorry, but Rowan's got 8 goals in one game. I'm watching 2 games with 0 goals. I'm not happy.
Do you want Club Bruce PSG?
This has been 2 goals in that one.
I know. But you'll get some. 81st minute.
Well, hopefully this free kick goes in.
Thank you very much, Rowan. 5-3. Unlucky for Leipzig, just as they got back into it. But back to that free kick.
It looks like he's about to take it. And here he is. He took it short, and that is awful. That is awful. And again, Josh, as anticlimactic as ever, I apologise.
It's all right. It's all right. Thank you very much, KD. Still no goals for him in both of his games. He's covering Inter Milan, Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, Porto, and he has 0 goals in either of the 2 games. Let's just hope he gets one, please, before the end of the night. At least one. Liverpool coming forward here, trying to get a 4th in the game. I would like to know what's going on, but he fucking froze again. Apologies about it. I can see the Sporting Ajax game, no problem. I'm going to try and see if I could sort it out in the meantime. But as we said before, Manchester City 5, Leipzig 3. What a game. Whoever's there tonight watching that match is being treated to an absolute spectacle in terms of end-to-end drama. It might be a free kick, though, here for Liverpool. Referee's not going to give it in the end. Suggested foul on Tonali. It's froze again, and I am going to have to try and sort that out and see if I can find another channel that it's on. Give me 2 seconds, and I will sort that out in the background. A few changes, though, in the Ajax game. I think Berghuis, he's coming off the pitch. Goal scorer in the Ajax game, of course. Played very well tonight. And I think you could say pretty much every player on the Ajax team has played fantastically well. And in the end, it looks like it's going to be one of the youngsters coming on. I think it's called Taylor, who's coming on for the last 15 minutes of that match. And it seems to be every time I sort out the problem, it instantly freezes. So I do apologise. I will sort that out in the meantime. And hopefully no other goals go in as we speak. We talk about a few of the other games as we go through it. Obviously, Inter Milan and Real Madrid 0-0 as it stands. I don't think many people would have been expecting that one to have been 0-0 after about 75, 80 minutes. But that's how it stands as we currently speak. Hopefully, we can get a goal in that game at some point. I'm just very quickly changing channel now, which is why I'm talking absolute crap, to try and see if I can find the channel which Liverpool is on. Eventually we will get there. Hopefully a chance comes in the meantime. Let me see if I can find DAZN 4. Is it on there? Yes, it is. Let's hope that sorts out the problem. So we should be all right now. We should be fine. I'm watching it on DAZN instead. Let's hope we can have no more problems for the rest of the night. But there has been a substitution in the game between Atletico Madrid and Porto. Herrera coming on for Felipe. So a late change towards the back end of the game in that match. Still 0-0 as it stands. Hopefully we can get something in that game regarding goals-wise. But let's go over to KD anyway, because there's been a chance in one of his games. Who's it for?
It's for Real Madrid. And again, probably should be doing better with it, Benzema, but he is offside. It's a header, and he just heads it right across the face of the goal, and it just goes wide. And a lot of Inter Milan fans wincing. Probably Ancelotti wincing as well, but I think Camavinga is about to come on as well. So for Real Madrid, it's they're pushing for the winner. Inter Milan not really doing much as of right now, and don't even ask me about the other game, Josh.
No, I won't. I will let you off on that one. Thank you very much, KD. 0-0 as it stands. We're going over to Rowan. First red card of the night. We had 4 last night. Who's been sent off?
It's gone from bad to worse for RB Leipzig. Angelino's just been sent off. Second yellow. The ball was sort of just in that danger area. Just it's at halfway line, but no 2 players were there. And it's just gone. I think João Cancelo went for it. So did Angelino. And Angelino starts to pull out the challenge, but then he sticks his foot out to try and go for a last-ditch kick. If he doesn't like stick his foot out, I think ref would just give it accidental collision. But because of that loose leg, Angelino are sent off. Leipzig down to 10 men. They need 2 goals in 10 minutes, and Keylor Navas nearly just gave the ball away for Sawo to get onto the end of it. But tough ask for RB Leipzig now. As I think it was Gabriel Jesus is warming up.
Thank you very much, Ron. Tricky task for Leipzig. They have got to get 2 goals with 1 less man on the pitch. Angelino sent off. I'm hoping the problems are solved. It seems a lot more smoother on DAZN and actually much better. So let's hope we can get through the last 10 minutes of it without any issues. But Liverpool 3-2 Milan. If there were any chances or anything, I couldn't tell you because I didn't even get to see what was going on for about 2 or 3 minutes. But what I can tell you is that change in the Real Madrid game has been made. Camavinga coming on for Modric. Of course, Camavinga did score in his first game as a Real Madrid player against Betis, I think it was a few days ago. So a very nice debut for him. And, of course, a UCL debut in a Real Madrid shirt. Rowan has, of course, put in the chat, Jesus has come on for Grealish. So a change now for Manchester City. Again, 10 minutes left, and they're still bringing on forwards. Very, very ruthless side, as you would expect them to be. Let's just hope. Maybe there's a few more goals that swing Leipzig's way if you're a neutral. 5-5 would be very enjoyable. That'd be very, very nice indeed, wouldn't it? But we've got 8 minutes left of this game. And we are going to have a change for AC Milan. Maldini's son is coming onto the pitch. And his dad's watching on, of course. We said earlier about how Maldini wasn't happy with the first half. And his son is coming onto the pitch for the final 10 minutes of the match. This would be interesting, wouldn't it? He plays as a midfielder / winger, so there is a chance maybe that Maldini could get onto the score sheet. Whether or not we will see if he can, we'll find out. But he will come on in a moment's time. And just trying to see what the problems are with my channels. And it seems like it's not just my problem, so it's all good. At least I know it's not a problem on my end. But we're going to see who comes on. Comes off, for Maldini to come on. And it's going to be Ante Rebic. So Rebic coming off, scored, of course, the first goal of the night for AC Milan. And then it's going to be Maldini who comes on for Rebic. We'll have to see whether or not he can score in the game. Apologies if you can hear any Discord notifications going on. It is mine. That's going off in the background. So if it keeps pinging, I apologise. Rowan has said there's a change of the Leipzig game. Gvardiol coming on. Turn that off. There we go. Hopefully you can't hear that anymore. Gvardiol coming on for Nkunku. The man who scored the hat-trick. Might be on the losing side here, it's looking like. Very unfortunate for the Frenchman. But Gvardiol will come on for the last couple of minutes. And then a yellow card for Corona in the Atletico Madrid Porto game. I know I won't celebrating that. The yellow card for Corona. As Salah comes on. Salah comes off. And Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain comes on. And then Henderson is coming off as well for the final few minutes. And I've just seen, oh my God, there has been a goal in one of KD's games. He's had to wait till the last 10 minutes of the night, but he's got a goal. Who's it for, Kieren?
Well, Josh, I don't think I have got a goal. I think it might be getting disallowed. Oh, dear. So what happened was, it was an awful back pass, I think, by, it's either Kondogbia or Renan Lodi. And Oblak rushes out to it, and Taremi and Oblak collide. The ball rolls into the back of the net. The goal is given on the pitch. Then the referee says, no. I mean, I can't really see much wrong with this, to be fair. It's just a back pass. Kondogbia doesn't react. Oblak gets there first. And to be fair, I don't think there's much wrong with that. So I think, at the moment, VAR will probably check in the goal. Yeah, VAR goal check. I think Porto might be ahead, which is absolutely mental. But we will have to see. They're checking if it's come off the arm of Taremi. Yeah. Keep me in. They're checking handball against Taremi, but I can't recall seeing a handball. I mean, I hope it stands because it's won a goal, but oh, for fuck's sake, referee. Disallowed free kick to Atletico Madrid.
Well, that kind of sums up the night, doesn't it? Unfortunate, KD. Thank you very much. 0-0 as it stands between Atletico Madrid and Porto. You waited all night for a goal, and then the referee takes it away, and it looks like we're still going to be waiting for the first goal in that match for KD tonight, and also still waiting for a first goal in that game between Inter Milan and Real Madrid. Still 0-0 as it stands in that match. Let's hope we get something for Kieren before the end. It's not looking like it. 5 minutes left of tonight's action as it stands. Liverpool 3-2 up against AC Milan. Ajax with a 5-star performance against Sporting. Atletico Madrid 0, Porto 0, Inter Milan 0, Real Madrid 0. Club Brugge still holding on for a point against Paris Saint-Germain. And Manchester City 5, Leipzig 3. What a game that was. Or what a game that is, because it's still going on. And could still be a few more goals in that one. We'll have to see whether or not that happens as we seen in the chat. Now, apparently there has been a goal. If this is for the Manchester City game, Rowan, fair play. Who's it for?
It's for Manchester City. It's 6. And this time it's Gabriel Jesus. I feel so sorry, Katie, because I've had 9 goals in this game. Sorry. I've had 9 goals in this game. It's Jesus, and it was a shot from outside the box by, I think it was João Cancelo. I'm checking. No, I think whoever takes the shot outside the box, Diaz takes the shot outside the box, and he actually goes into his own teammate, Avake, falls to someone. Who does that fall to in the box? That's João Cancelo in the box. He's being checked by the AR. He's scuffed. And then Jesus does really well to slot it in. I think Kosman goes for the block. It gives a height. When the shot initially does come in, though, Aki is onside. So it's Diaz shoes in the middle, not Cancelo. I don't trust the commentators. What do they know?
They know absolutely nothing.
I think they should stand. Ake is onside. Everyone else is onside from the Diaz pass. Oh, he's gone all the way through. Oh, Club Brugge get a club. By the way, Club Brugge have made no subs. They are literally holding on for dear life, and they look shattered. Check is over. Goal stand 6-3. 9 goals.
Absolute corker again for Owen. Thank you very much. 9 goals in that Manchester City match. And you could have gone to that game for 15 quid. Mad, isn't it? The prices that City have got for the Champions League games. Because I was looking to see about maybe going to... I think is it the PSG game they've got? Well, one of the big sides that they face in their group, either way. But 9 goals tonight. Bonkers match between City and Leipzig. And it's crazy to think there was a hat-trick in that game and it's gone to the losing team. But yeah, brilliant performance tonight from City. An absolute... Whether you'd say it's a Champions League classic or not, maybe. I don't know. It depends what your thoughts and opinions on that is. Just because it's got 9 goals... probably doesn't mean it's a classic as such. But Liverpool AC Milan, 2 minutes left of normal time in this one. Is there going to be any late drama? We'll have to find out whether or not we do get any late drama in that game. And just checking, a couple of moments in the Porto game. Yellow card for Wendell. And also Luis Diaz off, Pepe on. If you've been in the stream for long enough, Pepe hasn't come back on. There is another Pepe on the bench. There was a Pepe which started and a Pepe on the bench. So there have been 2 Pepes on the pitch. So don't worry, there hasn't been a resubstitution of the same player. But 0-0 still between Atletico Madrid and Porto. We are still waiting for that all-elusive first goal for KD on the night. He's got a couple of minutes left in his match to get something, or his matches to get something. But Liverpool... on the back end of maybe some slight nerves because Milan have dominated this last couple of minutes and they are really desperately looking to get that all-important equaliser and a point on the board. I mean, Carl said he'd rather stay at home and save my money than go to a Man City game, even if it's cheap. That is fair point, but you are a United fan, so you'd rather not go there if it was the last thing on earth. Rona said there's 2 minutes added in Bruges. They've got 2 minutes to hold on for what would be a famous result for the Belgians. There has been a goal finally in one of these games. KD, who's it for?
And you can't take this one off me, but Real Madrid have taken the lead in this game late on, and it is a hell of a goal. I rate Rodrigo highly in my list of wonder kids, and he has scored an absolute peach of a goal. It's a really good move from Real Madrid. It's put over to the left-hand side, and it's a lovely little flick to Camavinga, who just guides the ball into the path of Rodrigo over the head of Skriniar, and he hits it on the volley into the floor, into the corner of the net, and it's a massive goal for Real Madrid. They've been second best for maybe 3/4 of this game, and now they've turned on the style, and it's 1-0.
Thank you very much, KD. He had to wait all night, but he finally can say he's got a goal, and Real Madrid taking the lead in that game against Inter Milan for, 60, 70 minutes. We were sat there saying that they were on the back end of pure domination from Inter Milan with shots on target and efforts. But Real Madrid looking like they're about to take 3 very vital points away in the first match day of the Champions League. Can't say me being a United fan has nothing to do with it, honest. Definitely. But yeah, late goal in that game between Inter Milan and Real Madrid. And at least Kieren can say he's got a goal by the end of the night. We're into 5 minutes of additional time in Liverpool Milan. 4 minutes left for Milan to try and get an equaliser. We're into 2 minutes of additional time in Sporting Ajax. That game is well and truly done and dusted. Ajax going to be taking home some very, very well-earned 3 points on a night where Haller scored 4 goals. As Rowan has said, there has been a change in his game between Bruges and PSG. Mosa coming on for Soa. They have made a substitution. That's the first one of the night for Bruges, and they've done it what would probably be an additional time. So bringing on some legs at the back end of the game to try and hold on, as I said, to an incredible point against PSG. That would make things fairly interesting for the latter stages of the group, because obviously PSG have still got to play Manchester City at some point twice. And if they can get something, Manchester City against PSG, could make that group fairly interesting. 4 minutes added on at City, 6-3 up. They're going to get the 3 points on the board tonight. And Rowan has said full time in Bruges PSG. We said at the beginning of the night, Real Madrid was a historic result for them a few years ago. I think they might have just topped that. A 1-1 draw against Paris Saint-Germain. Nobody would have expected that at the start of the night. But the Belgians, they held on, and they have picked up what is a vital point in the first match day of the Champions League. And a very, very incredible result for them. We got a free kick in the AC Milan game for AC Milan, which Tonali is about to whip in. Obviously, Giroud being one of the players in the box, and Tonali with a really poor cross, completely over everyone and cleared away. And it looks like Liverpool now on course here to get themselves 3 points on the board. We're going to go back to KD, though. Dangerous free kick for Inter Milan. Talk us through it, Kieren, if it would let me put you in the stream. There we go.
Well, I've only said it, Josh, because it is going to be the last kick of the game, I'm pretty sure. 2 minutes out of time, the keeper is up, Handanovic is up. Now, if he was to score, that would be some story. It is going to be, I think, Brozovic is over it. Everybody is up for Inter Milan. It's now make or break, get the point or get nothing. It's actually DiMarco over it. So it's going to be DiMarco to whip it in. It's gone through everybody. It's a header in there. It's cleared by Benzema towards the edge of the box. It's still not really cleared fully. And now it is Camavinga, and the keeper's out of goal. And Real Madrid up the other side. And the referee blows the full-time whistle. And Real Madrid have beaten Inter Milan at the San Siro by 1-0. Very well deserved for the second half performance by Real Madrid. But Inter Milan have to be disappointed with themselves. They dominated that match for 3/4 of the game.
Thank you very much, Kieren. 1-0 to Real Madrid. They sneak home 3 points on the first game of the season. It is full time at Anfield. Liverpool are taking the 3 points home in an absolute belter against AC Milan. Brilliant game overall. I might have missed bits of it because of a few connection problems, but an absolute corker of a game. And I don't know what it is, but these types of nights at Anfield, I wouldn't say it's a classic, but a very enjoyable and memorable game to watch. Salah on the score sheet, Henderson as well getting on the score sheet with a brilliant goal. And then, of course, Milan with 2 goals in 60 seconds to equalise in the game. But as I said, Henderson with the winning goal in the match. Full-time at Sporting Ajax as well. 4 goals for Seb Haller. Perfect night for Ajax, who take home 3 points against Sporting. Not a great night for the Portuguese champions as Ajax coast to victory. And Seb Haller takes home his match ball in the Champions League. I would say West Ham fans will be watching on with disappointment, but I guess they will to a certain extent, knowing that Haller has played very well tonight, and they necessarily didn't get that player at West Ham. Of course, Atletico Madrid Porto still going on. 5 minutes added in that game. And that is the last match of the night that's going on. Because Inter Milan, as we said before, 1-0 win for Real Madrid away at home in Italy. Away in Italy. That would have made no sense. Real Madrid, of course, getting that victory late on in that game. Bruges with that big point against PSG. Quality performance from them tonight. And then, of course, full-time Manchester City 6, Leipzig 3. Brilliant game. Plenty of goals in that one. And Rowan with plenty of goals tonight. But what we'll do then is we'll probably, for the last couple of minutes, we'll leave Kieren out of it. We'll talk with Rowan first. And then if there's a minute or two left, then we'll bring Kieren in for the last few minutes of Atletico Madrid Porto. But Rowan, I think we quite obviously know where to start tonight. Bruges PSG. Incredible result.
I think we said before the game, I said if Club Bruges could contain Messi, Neymar and Mbappe, I think they've got a genuine shot, and it's what they did. They did it really well. I mean, I think that early goal really sort of shook the confidence, but getting one back sort of in a relatively quick reply, I think they turned into the better side. If you look at the game, they had the more shots, 16 shots, 7 on target. PSG 9 shots, 4 on target. Obviously, PSG had more possession, but that doesn't matter. Club Bruges played their own game. They never settled for what PSG were trying to do. And the thing is, at halftime, I said, you standout players. You've got to say every single player on that pitch did their job. Clinton Matters, Sobon, you could see him. He was absolutely drained after the match. He put an absolute shifting because he was doing, obviously, we know when you play like a wing back, they play a back four. He was doing so much of the work, trying to help Noah Lang out in them dying stages. And Vanaken just trying to play through everyone. So just everyone on that pitch. And they had a chance. I don't know if you saw me. It was like in the 89th minute, Noah Lang had got the ball. It was a 1-on-2. And he was just by himself. He didn't have the legs. He eventually had De Ketelaere onto his left after maybe a minute. He went onto his right foot and he put the shot wide. He had a man open and right, but too late. But an incredible result from Club Bruges, played so well. And they'll be so going into obviously the next stages and everything. And the next game, they're in a tough group, but we just see Manchester City sort of dismantle Leipzig in a way. Club Bruges, if they play how they did against PSG, we could see them possibly go through. Definitely Europa League. It's just waiting to see. And then
that City game, 9 goals and a red card.
Not enough goals for me, really. Yeah, incredible. The mental thing is they went obviously 3-0 up, then 2-0 up, sorry. And I thought game were done. And Kunku then gets his team back, penalty on, you're thinking 3-1, game done. And Kunku gets one back, and you're like, is it game on again? Grealish then goes and scores, and you thought, fucking game done. And Kunku gets another one. Genuinely, he was just dragging his team through the mud. I had a look at some of the ratings, and Kunku is one of the only players in there like a green rating. The rest are in oranges and reds. Obviously, Cancelo scores, making it 5-3. But at that point, they still genuinely had a chance because we knew that they could score. We knew Kunku was scoring. They were going forward, getting opportunities. Angelino got himself sent off, and then from then it was just Man City attacking. Galaxy made a lovely save just to save a little bit embarrassment. Stopped it from double figures. The thing is, you can't even say that Manchester City looked that good, to be honest. I think they definitely had their moments, I think, but they won by a lot. But when you're allowing another team to score a hat-trick in such a win like that, they're obviously going to be stuff called into question, but at the end of the day, great performance from Manchester City and Christopher Nkunku.
A very, very good performance indeed. Going to bring you out, Rowan. Thank you very much. Going over to the Porto game. It's still going on, by the way. Red card at the late stage of the match. Who's been sent off, Kieren?
Chancellor Mbemba has received a red card for a last man challenge. He's pleading his innocence, but he's snapped Antoine Griezmann as he's running in. And it is a goal scoring opportunity because he is last man. I thought it would have been a yellow card. Because he's a little bit left of centre, but if Griezmann would have got past Mbemba, it would have been 1-on with the goalkeeper. But it's the last chance of the game now for Atletico Madrid. There's literally the 5 minutes on the clock are up, but we did have Corona and Wendell down injured for about a minute and a half, so I imagine the referees added a little bit more extra on. But we are almost into the 6th minute of added time. It's going to be the last chance of the game, but Porto have lost
Mbemba as a straight red as well for 3 games. I mean, the Porto manager's furious. Pepe, who came off early, is furious. And now it looks like Antoine Griezmann might be able to snatch all the points for Atletico Madrid if he can dispatch this free kick.
This is it. This is the moment we've been waiting for. A 95th minute free kick to win it. The stars have aligned.
Well, Suarez is over it as well. It actually been 90. We're probably going to be edging on 97 minutes when he actually takes the free kick. But it's Luis Suarez, Antoine Griezmann. It probably favours Griezmann's left foot around the wall. Diego Costa's had a few decent saves tonight. Not been called into action much, but if this goes in, it will be scenes of jubilation, I'm sure, for the Atletico Madrid fans. And for me, because we love a goal. But you know what? I'll take the fact that it's 0-0 because it'd really it'd make the group very interesting, of course, with Liverpool beating AC Milan earlier. But now we're getting to the business end. Griezmann and Suarez over it. It's going to be Luis Suarez over the wall and just over the crossbar, inches away, I'd say, probably. The referee's still not blown his whistle yet either. But inches away from giving Atletico Madrid the lead there, Luis Suarez. That would have been fairy tale sort of stuff.
Definitely would have been indeed. I'm guessing that is probably the last kick of the game.
I mean, the referee's not blown his whistle yet. I'm seeing a lot of replays of the free kick, and it's just about maybe 6 or 7 inches above Diego Costa. That is full time. Diego Costa's hand. It is full time. 0-0 here. But Porto losing that man, but gaining a good point, I'd say.
Thank you very much, Kevin. And quickly over the other game, while we're at it, obviously Inter Milan losing 1-0 to Real Madrid. You know, first 45 minutes, you were sat there obviously saying about the chances that Inter Milan had and the amount of opportunities, but Real Madrid stealing it late at the end.
Yeah, it was a good tie, to be fair to say. It was only 1-0. It was very open, back and forth. Second half, Inter Milan came out the gates. They were really good for 3/4 of the match, and then very much smash and grab stuff from Real Madrid, which is exactly what they'd have wanted, I think, on the Champions League night like this. Inter Milan, very hard team to go up against, and Real Madrid at the end of the day didn't play their best, but they got a win. I mean, I think they'll be absolutely delighted.
Definitely will be indeed. Thank you very much, KD. They are KD's games all done just now. All the games done for tonight. We'll very quickly run over the 2 games that I had. Obviously, Sporting Ajax first. 5 goals for Ajax, 4 for Haller. On a really, really good night for Ajax. They look quality tonight. Really did well. I thought Sporting at points, you saw little glimpses of opportunities. Pelini up top, very similar to Nkunku, was kind of carrying Sporting for certain parts of the game. Could have had 2. One of his goals was disallowed. But in the end tonight, Ajax, Anthony, quality player, ran the show tonight. And although Haller got the 4 goals, I think a lot of plaudits will go to Anthony as well for his performance. Really opened up that Sporting defence. It was a menace for them. So Ajax coming out with a 5-1 win there, of course, in Dortmund's group as well. So Ajax will go top, Dortmund second. And then Liverpool, 3-2 winners against AC Milan. Brilliant game to watch. We spoke about that one a little bit earlier. Lots and lots of opportunities for both sides. AC Milan scoring 2 goals in 60 seconds to come back in the match before Salah and Henderson, of course, scoring some important goals in that game. So in terms of how the groups look very quickly, of course, Group A, Manchester City top of the table with 3 points, PSG in second, Leipzig bottom. Group B, Liverpool top, Milan bottom. Atletico Madrid in second, Porto in third. We said before, Group C, Ajax and Dortmund both winning their games, their first and second respectively. Group D, Sheriff are top of Group D, Real Madrid in second. Of course, both on 3 points. Sheriff with the 2 goals means they go on goal difference. And then, of course, the other groups yesterday, Barca bottom of Group E. Man United, of course, bottom of Group F as it stands. Wolfsburg, bottom of Group G. Not a great time for Kieren, is it? And then Group H, Juve and Chelsea, both with wins in their group. And that is pretty much it in terms of our Champions League action. Kieran saying thanks for that, Josh. You're very welcome indeed. That is it in terms of our Champions League action over this next week. We've got more action to come over the week because we've got the Europa League and the Conference League tomorrow. You can join me and Rowan from 5:35 for the early kickoffs. And then straight afterwards, we'll have the nighttime kickoffs and KD will be joining us for those. And then in terms of league action, you could join me on Sunday night, Valencia versus Real Madrid. That's first versus second. Should be a corker of a game. And then on Tuesday night, Serie A action. Fiorentina taking on Inter Milan. That should be a very, very good game indeed, if I say so myself. In terms of our links, if you want to follow us and see when we go live on our YouTube channel, then the links are in the description and are in the chat. As always, thank you very much, Kyle. Twitter is @_top corner, and our Instagram is _sports corner_. Do go check those out if you haven't already to see when we go live. Next match day, we'll be back with the Champions League on the 28th of September, 2 weeks away. Standout fixtures. Tuesday night, there are some corkers. Milan against Atletico Madrid. PSG against Manchester City. That is the standout match on Tuesday night. Dortmund against Sporting. That'll be an interesting game to watch. And then Porto against Liverpool. Just some of the standout games. Wednesday, quite a good day if I say so myself. Juventus against Chelsea. Man United against Villarreal, the repeat of the Europa League final. Benfica against Barcelona. Salzburg against Lille. There are endless amounts of very good games in there, as well as Wolfsburg against Sevilla. Good games indeed. So that's when we'll be back for that. But as for now, I want to say a big thank you to Kieren D and Rowan. Thank you very much for the last 2 nights, guys. We get to do it all again tomorrow.
Oh, I can't wait.
That's going to be great.
Maybe I'll get some more goals.
Might get more than one. I might get more.
Fuck off, Rowan.
Yeah, there's no chance. I don't think there's much chance of Rowan getting any more. But as we said, back tomorrow.
We didn't have any goals, but we did win 28 quid. So every
cloud. £4.45 stonks.
Every cloud, Rowan.
Every cloud has a silver lining.
Well, I had goals, so it wasn't really a bad night for me.
But we will be back tomorrow, as we said, at 5:35 with me and Rowan for the other kickoffs, and then Katie will be joining us. But as for now, if you're new as always, don't forget to leave a like, subscription on the channel. Have a fantastic morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you are, and we hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.